Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? Yeah. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history, yeah.
All deep once again. My heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time. Can't feel anymore. Feels numb when I die. Restart me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me. Been waiting, waiting for the light. Won't say goodbye. Won't close my eyes and die. I'm waking, waking, give me life. The ghost of me, of me.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. when we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? Yeah. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love goes, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history, yeah.
All deep once again. My heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time. Can't feel anymore. Feels numb when I die. Restart me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me. Been waiting for the light. Won't say goodbye. Won't close my eyes and die. I'm waking, give me life. The ghost of me, of me.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? Yeah. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history, yeah.
Fall deep once again. My heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time. Can't feel anymore. Feels numb when I die. Restart me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me. Been waiting for the light. Won't say goodbye. Won't close my eyes and die. I'm waking, give me life. The ghost of me, of me.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. You and I, we got history. Wherever love goes, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, you and I, we got history.
Deep once again, my heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time. Can't feel anymore. Feels numb when I die. Restart me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry. When you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. You and I, we got history.
once again. My heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time. Can't feel anymore. Feels numb when I die. Restart me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me. Been waiting for the light. Won't say goodbye. Won't close my eyes and lie. I'm waking, give me life. The ghost of me.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name? Or you say her name? Yeah. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love goes, there is also.
Yo, what's happening? What's happening, guys? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I apologize. That was really rude, but I had something happen and I had to take care of it. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to push the limits today, and I don't know if we're going to get a strike or not, but we're sure going to try to play it. Hold on, I want to make sure we got some fair use here. Let's take this down. Let's take this down. Because obviously we're going to play stuff that might end up getting us in a tad bit of trouble. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, you know. Am I dressed? Oh, here. Let's see. Let's see if my little avatar is on here. All right, ready? Here we go. Am I naked or am I here? Look, you're late because you had to take your cell phone to your car. We get it. That's right. And you know what? Let me just start us off with this because I am on bullshit
fuck
today.
You, Queen. Oh, they're gonna make me do it.
Well, let me, you know what? Griff this, bitch. Had to take the cell phone to the car. And guys, guess what? I don't know what the hell happened, but I think hell froze over. Did you guys hear BJ say last night that she doesn't agree with Lauren and this RO? What? Wait a minute. What? Are you fucking serious right now? I don't fucking think so. All right, there's the link. Let me go pin this bad boy. I'm trying to get my stuff's in order today. I see Jay went on at the same time, so she's talking about Lauren too. I see somebody just sent it to me. I didn't even notice this. Shit, let me get my shit up here. I didn't even see this either. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna push it though. So, let's see here. I'm not even sure if we're supposed to be playing this, but I feel like this is some bullshit, and I feel like it needs to be put out anyways, because there's a reason why this is being moved behind a paywall, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I got the screen up. Let's see here. We're going to put this up real fast and put this on real fast. And we are going to watch this. And even if it goes off, I believe I have it recorded. So there might be some talking over it, but we still got it. So we'll keep that for right now. But I'm going to kick this up to 1.5 speed.
I, of course, was getting updated.
This is Lauren and her husband.
So you and I have been on the sets of some documentaries. You know, when I did Sins of Our Mother, even though I was in the actual film not that long, they spent hours doing interviews with me. And the second follow-up interview, I think I was on the set for like 8 hours or something, maybe 9 hours. But it wasn't continuous. Right. So like, I mean, I'm trying to put into perspective 9 continuous hours of a show. So I would do a couple hours. There was a break, right? We had lunch. Like it was not like I showed up to the set. And I mean, I did record a lot, but I was trying to imagine what that would be like, you know, and you know, 2 hours straight is pretty strenuous, but 9 is unbelievable. And so congratulations. That was really a
hidden true crime record.
Yeah, that was
and I think it's going to be our forever record because like I said,
yeah.
I didn't set out to do a 9-hour live either. Like if I knew it was going to be 9 hours, I might have waited to the next day.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really too sure about that. And the way this has went down, and now she's on a panel tour. Yeah, I'm still really not too sure what to think, but I, in my opinion, don't think people are going to really like what I have to say. So, sis, you should have been a detective. Thank you for becoming a new member. Hatter's Madness, thank you for dropping 5 on us. I appreciate that. Purple Dragon Shield. Let's see, a $10 super sticker. Can you guys hear me? Screen just went blank. Purple Dragon Show with the $10 super sticker says, Noggs went on to claim that her situation is much worse than this Lauren person. I rolled my eyes so far back in my headache. I also actually face palmed Nag's Nightmare on Green Street. My goodness, Purple Dragon Show. That was a mouthful if I ever had one. Regina and Friends Crime Chat. Thank you for the $2 super sticker. Says working from home, tuning in to my favorite beat. Thank you, Biddy. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing love. All right. Let's get back into it. Because they actually go on to say that they don't feel safe talking about this on their platform. But why now? Why are you putting all your content behind a fucking paywall? That I don't understand. So now I have no idea who Nogs is. No clue. I think maybe that might be the Family Guy that she's referring to or something. I'm not sure. I don't watch him, so I don't know. Petty AF, thank you for being a new member, baby. Oh, Peter Griffin. Okay, so this is Peter Griffin. Yes, that's who he looks like. There you go. So that's who it is. And he does kind of look like him. Yeah, I think it's really petty that now, okay, so now not only that, not only is she on a panel tour. So first of all, you didn't want it streamed on Law and Crime because you didn't want to have them in your business. Understandably. Okay, cool. So then you go on your live and you do a 9-hour live stream with over 350,000 views. And then you go on duty runs and Grayson, while that is going on, or I guess the day before, Grayson, your assistant, or you know, whatever you call her, your friend, assistant, I don't know what she is to you, but either way, she goes over on Trisha's, which is Webslueths. And I guess, I don't know. I've still yet to see any threats. I've not seen any proof of any threats. I've not seen any proof of anything other than hurt feelings and supposed text messages getting ready to be released that have not been released that I'm aware of. If you have them, please email them to me. I have not seen them. I don't know where they are. So if you can point me in the right direction, I'm nosy than a motherfucker. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I'm not. I am, and I want to read them and I want to see them. So if y'all got them, if you know where they're at, I would most certainly like to read them so I can do my own investigation and form my own opinion, just like you guys should. Do your own research, form your own opinions. Do not show hate to anybody in this video. Do not show hate to anyone mentioned in this live stream.
And then the other thing.
And do not be offended when you get compared to Salem witch trial, okay? Because that's pretty much what it is. And that's what they're telling us, that this is a witch hunt. This is a witch hunt, and everybody is out to get Lauren. That's what I got out of that part there. But I mean, I guess here we'll wait. We'll see.
I was thinking about to put in perspective, and I'm gonna, forgive me for saying for bringing this up, but I thought about,
because they only feel safe behind a paywall now. Since they don't feel safe, playing this for everybody, I'll do it. I'll do the honors for them. I got y'all. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I got y'all, Lauren. Don't worry, baby. I got you.
So remember the astronaut that traveled.
Maybe that's not the best.
Remember the astronaut that traveled to Florida and the Depends? What that was like
so that was to murder someone, I think. No. So
well, she didn't end up succeeding at that, but no. I'm just saying in terms of
not many people have, because it was hidden behind a paywall.
In terms of
because if you want to see their content, or you want to keep up with the drama that this has now turned into, you have to pay, from my understanding. Yes, I am, Flutter.
Events where human beings are they're really focused on something.
Really focused on
for long periods of time, right? She was focused on getting to Florida to murder someone, but I was thinking about her, and it's not because it's a similar analogy, but just in terms of the stamina and
the stamina, right?
The Depends and not
had it all, and I just knew I had to get through all the evidence. I had to tell the whole story if I was going to do this.
Which, if you would like to see the whole thing, because we are not going to watch this whole thing, we're going to jump around a little bit. So if you would like to see the whole thing, feel free to go join her levels or whatever to get it.
I was going to half-ass it. Now people know I don't have the cleanest mouth either. They learned that in that live.
I think a little bit of this is her preparing her subs for what's to come, in my opinion. not the old bait and switch. Emmy Joe, listen here. Listen up.
You don't know that you haven't watched it, my dear sweet husband. What I mean is I showed
Yeah, I
some
haven't.
things.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched it. I of course was getting updates real time, but it's just this has been so painful. This whole thing has just been so painful, and you know, my blood pressure has been like through the roof, and you know, I went to see the doctor a few weeks ago, and he's like, I'm taking medication for blood pressure, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with you. Like, you got to get your blood pressure down, right?
Listen, I'm not saying some of the shit that went down was okay. I'm not saying that it was okay that what happened to her. I mean, I hope people aren't getting that confused with you know, also you know, with the thing that I think it's a little dramatic. I think that there's and this is just my opinion, do your own research, form your own opinions. I think there's a little bit of dramatics that goes into this. It goes into play. I think there's a lot of shit that really is nothing. It's a big nothing burger. I mean, you could, let me just say this. You have now entered the crama drama sphere, and this that you're talking about is light work compared to what we've been through over here. Several creators have had, oh, for example, here, I'll just tell you this. I've had people contact my family. I've had my kids attacked. I've had them shown on social media. I've had my photos shown on social media. I've had my family dug into. I've had some psychotic, alcoholic, weird fucking wet brain bitch call my fucking mayor, FOIA my children, FOIA their report. I had a fucking person that pretended to be a friend of mine, obviously to get information, use that information against me, and then FOIA'd it, my child's personal information situation that happened, and chose to weaponize that against me, and then hand it to a fucking predator who used it against me as well. I've had people send people to show up here. I've had pizzas and shit delivered to my fucking neighbors because these idiot fucks can't get my address right. I've had people show up to my fucking neighbor's house knocking on the fucking door asking for me. I've had establishments called. I've had the dog fucking catchers called. I've had this wet brain fuck calling the Humane Society, calling the fucking city about my fucking dog. So your stalking stories and your bullshit that your text messages might come out, I don't give a fuck about that. That ain't got shit on what goes down over here. Okay? My fucking dog's been doxxed the fuck out. My mayor's been doxxed out and called, harassed by an alcoholic, weird ass fuck, predator. What the hell? What the helly? So I'm sorry, but your bullshit here doesn't really seem like it's stalking or really that much of anything other than some hurt fucking feelings amongst some friends. You got your feelings hurt. You got your fucking feelings hurt. And yeah, there's going to be text messages come out where you are a shitty ass person, in my opinion. You said some real shitbag things, and that's okay because you know what? We've all done it. We've all said it, and we've all said things in private that we didn't realize that were going to be put public. But you can't put this shit out on the internet in the belly of the beast and then cry and say you're being attacked and harassed and stalked.
I'm like, I'm trying.
Or calling it a fucking witch hunt like y'all did.
We're going to be okay. Is your blood pressure going to go down? Oh, and people are saying how I'm doing. I think I feel better. I think you do too, John. You talk for yourself. I feel better to have shared.
Good. And you know what? You should feel better. You should feel better. You got the whole fucking internet riled up.
My story. Still didn't share it all. Like I said, I'm already regretting that I didn't go at least maybe 10 hours and just have read all these declarations. But their response to what I shared. But I think I was still nervous. My point is, do I feel better that the truth is out in the open? Do I feel safer? I do. But
like, I went through a fucking lawsuit and was sued because two nasty motherfuckers had sex with each other and couldn't fucking bear the fact of telling the truth about it. Like, you have no fucking idea the shit people have been through. And you know what, Bruinhouse, she might be. I mean, I'm not saying that she's not. Honestly, I don't know. There's two sides, actually three sides to every story: his, hers, and the truth. Or hers, and the truth is somewhere in between. Pecan Pie, why do shitty people always bring up the Salem witch trials to compare their dumb junk? Ever noticed that? Yeah, this is the second time the Salem witch trials have been brought up and talked shit about, and compared to what's going on. Just like with Clue and Cletus, it's the same. I mean, it's the same bullshit. They've been accused of some fucking crazy ass shit. People out here believing the bullshit that BJ's fucking spreading and shit.
I dread what's next still. I'm just like, what now? And what's next?
I know. I don't, on that issue. I'm glad we told our story. You know, I think there's more there's a lot more to talk about in terms of, you know, there's parts of the story we haven't even begun to touch in terms of proton emails, and like all like it's just it's been unending. And
oh, but wait, join their Patreon and join a higher clip and you'll be able to figure it out. You'll be able to see and hear about it all. Just wait, they'll promote it.
I like, to answer your question, I haven't slept the last few. I haven't slept for like 3 nights in a row, or minimally, and the reason is because I think part of this is a big part of this is the intimidation, right? The fear and intimidation component. And I think like the reason I haven't slept is because I keep thinking, what's next, right? That's what they want.
That's exactly it. I felt so relieved after the live, and then I wake up and I'm like, what's next? That's exactly. I'm like, what's next?
What's next? These people are not like normal people. Would see this and they'd say, okay, enough's enough, and walk away. But not this group.
Yes.
Like this group
that's
is
another thing too. That's another thing too that I have a fucking problem with. Kath, wait a minute. Her 9-hour stream was supposed to be putting it all out there, and now all of a sudden there's more to it that we don't know. Oh yeah. And guess what? It's going to be put behind a paywall. So you guys, anybody that wants to know the juice and wants to know the tea, you can go behind the paywall and watch it back there, because that's where they feel safe now. You know, that's their safe space back there, I guess. On another platform, you know. Interesting. I find it very interesting. I don't know. It's very odd to me. This is very odd.
And they're vengeful, and there's going to be some type of retaliation. We know that, right? Like they've trained us for that.
Okay, cut it out. We know there's going to be revenge, you guys. We just know it. They've trained us. They've trained us for this. We just know it. Stop. This is what I'm saying. This is what's going to make it worse for y'all. This is what this right here. I can't, man.
It's threat after threat. We're going to ruin you. We're going to take your kingdom down, right? Like
who gives a fuck? That's another thing. You keep saying this kingdom, where they're going to take the kingdom down. Are you serious right now? Like, for real. Hold on, Reg. You said she's done something bad. These text messages are going to be bad. She's in a state of emergency. She's been lying to hubby, too. In my opinion, innocent people don't behave like this. Yeah, it's like I said, it's I want to see these text messages. I don't know if somebody's got them, if anybody's dropped them, if you guys have seen them. I don't know where they're posted at. I haven't seen them, so... Good morning, Cricket. Yeah, that's troll talk. Yeah. Vanessa, in my opinion, I think they have marital problems that doesn't even have anything to do with this. What doesn't, hold on. I just scrolled up. Hold on. What doesn't help is just adds more to their problem that they already have, in my opinion. Yeah, Vanessa, I mean, very well could be. Well, I guess we don't really know, but isn't it odd how they say your kingdom? They're going to take our kingdom down. Stitching, well, if it's psychological warfare, they won. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, seems like she is trying to get in front of something. That's what I said to begin with, in my opinion. Seems, and yeah, that's very Mormon speech. I understand. Yeah, does sound. Kingdom is a Mormon thing. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Yeah. Yeah, release the text. Where are the texts? We all need to see the text so we can judge for ourselves. We need to do our own research and form our own opinions. That's what we need to do.
Got all this stuff on you.
No, and not even in their declarations did they bring it.
Yeah.
What do you have on me? They just hate
Well, they
me.
have private texts, but yeah.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. If they had them, they'd share them.
Well, there's the threat of private text. You've gone through all your private texts. There's nothing in there that's earth-shattering, but they think it is. So anyway, I think just to clarify, we're going to be doing these.
Right there. He said, you've gone through all your texts. There's nothing in there. There's nothing earth-shattering in there. But she's actually literally rocking on the fucking bed. Rocking. Physically rocking herself back and forth. Rocking. Knees in the chest. Well, if you guys know within 6 years of your messages, you would be scared too. So, hold on. Because those two don't add up. Those two things right there do not add up. Your body language and what you're saying don't add up. What he's saying and what you're saying is not adding up. Too bad I got 3 teenage fucking daughters. Come on now. Come on now. I feel like there's a little bit of not all honesty being told here.
On Patreon, even though they're members, some of them are members of Patreon, so presumably they're going to be listening to all this. But we feel safer not doing this publicly, so we will continue to talk about this, but we feel most comfortable doing it in this format. So
we'll continue talking about drama. We'll continue talking about private things and a private RO that we're really upset about that we didn't want out to begin with. But we're going to sit back here behind this paywall here and we're going to talk about it, okay? Just so you know. Who threatened her? I have no idea. No proof has been shown that I'm aware of. If there has been, please email it to me so I can correct myself. Matter of fact, here, I'll drop the link right here, right now. Because I've always liked Lauren. I've always liked her stuff. I've always watched her stuff. I lost a lot of respect for her with this bullshit. The way she handled it to begin with, the way she handled it now, the way she's doing, the way she's still continuing to handle it. In my opinion, I don't like it.
We are very grateful to our patrons, by the way, who have been, really this platform has really kept us afloat when we were struggling the most during some of the early years. So thank you for your support on here.
And so now that the Daybell trial's over and you guys are into drama, you're putting it back here behind the paywall. I guess I don't know. And Billy, I am too. Because I like them both. I've always liked Lauren and I've always liked her coverage and her, how she's traveled and went to the trials and you know what I'm saying? The stuff that she's always, I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to say I didn't. But this kind of shit right here, come on now.
For your very kind messages and thank you for coming and being here during this time. And if our stalker is continuing to listen.
Oh, they're listening. Go ahead.
But yet you're so scared. You're scared for your life. So you're so scared and uncomfortable that you can't be on YouTube and you can't do a live stream on YouTube after you just did a 9-hour live stream and went on duty runs and Grayson went on Webslueths, but you can sit back here behind a paywall and crack the fuck up and laugh and make jokes, right? I mean, I don't understand the laughing and the making jokes and the tee and the ha-ha and you can get tea and you can get more. You can watch this if you pay the price.
Thanks for being a Patreon member.
Dude, you can't put that in.
I don't know what else to say. It's weird, but
yeah, pretty awkward. I mean,
well, I guess I could say thanks to all of our patrons, except
thanks for paying for our drama.
Our stalkers, I don't know. That's weird.
I don't understand how you keep calling her a stalker when the stuff's dropped. I guess I don't understand.
No, I'm grateful for them too. Supporting our
No,
channel.
why don't we say thanks to our Patreons, including our stalkers, and hey, if you guys really want the scoop, you're gonna have to upgrade your tier level.
Yeah.
I promise you that right there is not going to age well. Let's hear that again. Did y'all hear that again? Yeah, let's hear that again.
If you want all the private texts. Coming and being here during this time, and if our stalker is continuing to listen.
Oh, they're listening. Go ahead.
Thanks for being a Patreon member.
Dude, you can't put that in.
I don't know what else to say. It's weird, but
very weird.
Well, I guess I could say thanks to all of our Patreons except our stalkers. Like, I don't know. That's weird.
No, I'm grateful for them too. Supporting our channel.
Why don't we say thanks to our Patreons, including our stalkers, and hey, if you guys really want the scoop, you're gonna have to upgrade your tier level.
Yeah. If you want all the private texts.
Yeah, please upgrade your tier level to get the full Patreon experience.
Yeah, as we sit here and laugh and giggle, because what'd you just get done saying? We don't feel safe putting our content on YouTube for everyone to watch. So you have to make time to choose another platform to watch me on that you have to pay for first. And you're only going to get the juicy text if you pay the higher tiers. And thank you to our stalker as well. Why would you thank your fucking stalker? See, y'all want to make a fucking joke of this shit and laugh about shit. And it's funny. Ha ha ha. I don't think this shit's funny. You're fucking with someone else's real life, just like you claim they're fucking with yours. I can't get down with this shit. Just like BJ's bullshit. I cannot get down with it. I'm sorry. I just can't. This shit's wild as hell to me. Am I wrong here? What do y'all think? Chat, what y'all think? What do y'all think? Oh shit, I didn't pin the link. Hold on, baby. Here I go. Can y'all give me some feedback here? What's up? How y'all feeling? Rowena coming in with a $5 super sticker here says, when they show you who they are, you believe them. Upgrade that Patreon though. Trash. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, this right here blew the fuck out of me. Just listening to this shit. Oh, and wait, it's not big. There's still more to come. There's still more to come. Yeah, I'm just saying it might change some people's opinions.
Is it the higher tier levels?
Right. All right, everyone. Okay, we're good. We'll be back tomorrow with a longer, more in-depth episode. There are some things that John actually really wants to talk about. He wasn't prepared, and I said, people just want to know we're okay. So let's just jump on for a little bit, but we will be back with more soon.
I want to throw out this little teaser, by the way. Okay. I want to do a full analysis of.
Yeah, because everybody wants to hear what he's got to say, and they use the word episode. Because I just want to throw a little teaser out here. And I want to, analyze this here situation and use it for content for months to come. Stitching with the Sisterly says, Dr. John, what are you covering up regarding your qualifications? No worries, your church kingdom will cover for you. Just a little teaser for you there. Just a little teaser. Just a little teaser there.
This situation at some point. I think we'll just touch on some of that tomorrow, but there will be Patreon episodes where I'm going to look at all the psychological dynamics involved. And I think this situation, what I will say here right now as a teaser is I really think a lot of this has to do with grief and it has to do with loss.
What?
And what I mean by that is something for our audience to chew on here, but almost all of this has to do with Daybell and the ending of Daybell. And
as in the case concluding.
The case concluding, right? That this really starts at well, it's people were planning this months before, but it started the smear campaign actually started being executed. Maybe that's not the right term. I shouldn't use that term too much now.
True crime. Yeah.
The smear campaign became more salient to us, became better known to us around the time of Charles's trial.
Hey, Ro.
Hi, baby. This just makes me so sick. It's so gross. And it's like when that light bulb turns on, you just can't unsee it. Don't tell me that you're scared.
Yeah, this blew the hell out of me, and I don't think this is going to age very well for them. Especially when they're sitting here saying they're so afraid, they're afraid for their lives, they're so afraid, but they're sitting here laughing and joking. And add the Patreon, get a higher Patreon deal, sign up for a higher Patreon deal so you can get the deets. We just did a 9-hour live, claimed we told it all, but really we didn't. There's more to come.
Yeah, I just can't, I just can't believe, yeah, I didn't, we were talking in voice chat today, and I was talking about, when you first mentioned this, during your live and said you were going to go over it later and everything, I was like, what? I had that parasocial biased, completely biased when I first started listening to this. And
well, yeah, but we all did because we all liked Lauren. We were like, oh my God, what's going on? Somebody's fucking with her. Why? You know what I mean? That's the first thing we all did. We're like, who's fucking with her?
Yeah.
The more we watched.
And until last night, I liked Dr. John. Until last night, when I saw a clip of him giving his expert analysis and judging a victim's impact statement, and I was like, oh my God, they are just alike. There were so many things that I had to go back. I listened to her. I listened to Lori Hollis. Then I went back and listened to Lauren because I was listening at 2 times speed. And you miss things, right? And I want to get both sides. And then when I listened to Trisha with Grayson on, that's when I unsubbed. I just did. I think it's emotional abuse, and I don't understand how this mental health professional is going to be the expert in his wife's RO document. Don't understand how that happened, nor do I understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works out either. You would think conflict of interest because they're
Right.
married. I'm not sure how that worked out. But then again, her brother was allegedly the one filing the cease and desist. So how the fuck does that work?
Right. But and I also don't understand how a psychiatrist, whatever your expertise is in, how you look at your wife and she's knee to chest, rocking back and forth with ideations that she's never had before, and you don't get her help. You tell a 22-year-old that's going to a psychiatrist and on medication to keep an eye on her and don't leave her alone. Extremely reckless. So yeah, I don't care about any of his analysis. I will never ever go back to their channel again. I feel, and I'm not saying that Christina is a great person. I think that it's fucked up that what she said about her brother and all the things, but it is freedom of speech and it's not illegal. Being a piece of shit and putting out private messages is not illegal. I'm sorry, it's just not. Singing words to a song is not illegal. It's just not. But I think, and I thought, well, maybe they're setting up for a lawsuit. I don't think they're going to, because then everything would come out in discovery. I think now we're trying to get ahead of, okay, you talk shit. And you know what? I didn't care if she talked shit. Everybody talks shit. Everybody talk shit. Don't sit there and say, I never talk shit. You do talk shit. Everybody does. And you got busted out. Apparently, it's just so horrible that, oh my God. And it better be damn bad. When it comes out, it better be super bad, not just saying, well, he's an asshole. It better, for all this, for your safety to be, and then you're going to get your 8-year-old child to testify in fucking court. Now, girl, I'm done. Don't weaponize your child.
Hey,
Your child
Roro.
shouldn't know. Hey, baby, what's up?
Nothing. What's up? Yeah, that video we watched last night was wild as fuck. Insulting.
It made me sick.
Yeah.
It really, I felt sick because I jumped up on Trisha's panel defending Dr. John. I was like, yeah, she's fucked up, but, I still like him. And then y'all showed me that, and I was floored. I had not seen that.
Yep. It was it was really insulting, and I would love to know what she thinks about it. Not that I want her to see stuff like that, but I feel like, yeah, that was wild what he said. He was like insulting her. That fucking shit was so cathartic for her. I could feel it in my home when I was watching her. Everybody knows that victim impact statement was one of the most powerful. Okay. I'm sure everybody agrees. So he could sit right the fuck down. Go back to your paywall. It's wild.
Hey, Queen. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. And most of everyone knows I'm the mod for Lori Hellis, and I just wanted to ask or state one thing. When Lauren was talking about the manuscript of Lori's book, Children of Darkness and Light, on the Lori Vallow story, the publisher sent it to a specific group of people before it was published. Lauren was not one of them. Where'd she get the copy from? And to take the copy, and that's even unprofessional, a little unethical, and then to distribute it even to one person. So again,
is there proof of that though?
The publisher has a list of people that it was sent to. Yes.
But it doesn't prove that she like printed more books.
No,
you know
what I'm saying is she was not on that. It wasn't printed. It was emailed to people. It was a PDF to people. So a PDF.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but
anybody could have sent it.
Oh, we know who sent it to her. But what I'm saying is it's a little two-faced. She just didn't say, you know how you say something without saying anything. So she's talking about the manuscript, but she knows that she was not one of the people who got it. Somebody else sent it to her. So that's just.
I don't know. I have not seen proof thus far as her sharing the content that she was emailed.
Yeah, I get that too.
And I don't mean to be disrespectful. And I liked hearing Lori's side. It helped. It's like I'd listened to both sides. I didn't listen to anybody's commentary over this. I just listened to the participants, right? But when Lori said, she sent it to 10,000 people, well, where's the receipt of 10,000 people got that? That's a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. I get that. And
if you're going to put an allegation out there, then I'm going to need some paper to back it up. You know what I mean?
I'll mention that to Lori because Lori's not used to this game. It's something. I mean, she's very upset over everything. And
it's not a game, though. And I mean, not to interrupt. It's definitely not a game.
Well, on this behavior and everything.
Hold on 1 second. You know what? I got a quick question for you. You sound very familiar to me. And the other day when you came up here, you sounded even more familiar to me. You sounded familiar to me when you came up there, and you sound even more familiar to me now. This is the Jimmy lady.
No, who's Jimmy? Absolutely not, Queen. I'll give you my credentials if you want. Absolutely not. I don't know who that is. I've always been Jennifer, and I did the Jennifer when Fupa over there picked on nonsense. and
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
And
Hey,
no,
hey,
I've
I'm not
always,
gonna call you a liar because I might be, you know what I mean. But it just your voice sounds so familiar to me.
yeah,
That's
I
why
have
I
a
You know
bit
said
of
who
a,
go
I
take
thought
it.
it was? You know who I thought she was,
oh
Queen? Do
my,
you remember what was her name? Law or something? She was an
Yeah,
attorney, and but it's not her, but
Wait, so
no,
you're
she
Jennifer?
I'm the
yeah,
Jennifer. Yeah.
Okay.
yes,
It was
okay.
normally just Jennifer, and then
yeah,
when BJ picked on nonsense and like duh, that's when a lot of us became duh and everything. But yeah, no,
Gotcha.
I'll Queen. Your emails in the chat.
No,
I'll
no,
email
no.
you.
You said no. The girls in here said, yeah, you sound similar, but it's just not. You're
yeah.
not.
It's not.
You're,
Yeah,
when you would have known when I said Jimmy Lady, you would have known exactly who I was talking
No,
about.
no. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I
you're
wanted to say. And again, I feel
But hey,
bad that
I do got a quick question though. When you came up and talked to us that day, and we pulled Lori's live up, when you said
it's
like
just
hi
really
Lori,
hard.
she deleted that
Yeah,
live stream. Why?
yeah. And I
Why
want to
did
give
she delete that live stream?
who?
When you came up that day, I pulled up Lori's live stream, and she had commented on it 43 minutes in. When I went back to go play it, she deleted that live stream.
Nothing was deleted. We just took off the comments. I'll go back and check, but I went in and turned
Well,
off
I
the
watched
comments.
it. I watched it.
Yeah, nothing's been deleted.
Here, let me see.
Maybe
I'm gonna
when you
go
were
to it right
going
now
to
because it
see
was the
it, I
first
was
one
in
that
the.
they sent it to me, and we pulled it up. When I went back to go get it, it says this live stream has been deleted. Here, I'll go grab it real quick. I'll show you
Okay, yeah.
because I said I couldn't pull it up. I couldn't figure out what happened to it or why it was taken down. And then she made a new one and went over stuff in it too. But the first one that she had up was taken down.
Now she had one that was blank, that had no time to it. Because
What do you
sometimes
mean by
Lori,
no time to it? 'Cause we had one
like,
pulled up and now it's gone. It says it's gone. Here, right
okay,
here. This right here. This video has been removed by the uploader. So when I went back to watch it, it's gone. The video
okay,
is gone.
I'll go and check it because I have access to that. She did have, like, sometimes because I'm on the East Coast,
We
Lori's.
pulled it up. It was here. I'll go get a screen here. Here, I'll show you right here. I'll get a screenshot of the exact live stream that I'm talking about. It's from 9/12, 2025 is what it. Let's
Okay.
see. That's when it was
What I'm
from. And we pulled it up and tried to play some of it on the screen that day. And then when I went back to go play it, it was gone.
Okay. What I'm saying is sometimes Lori forgets I'm on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast, and she'll put the wrong time. Then she'll create a new StreamYard and forget to delete the old one that wasn't
Gotcha.
used. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, she's not,
Well, yeah, I
we're
know
not.
what you're saying, but I actually pulled this video up and I played it. It was a live stream that she did that played just fine, that everything was just fine in, that she just all of a sudden, poop, just deleted it, pop, and then did a new one.
Well, that would have been my mistake because I'm the one that went in there and was just turning off comments because they were really hurtful. So I'll go check. I'll go check
So you
that as
just
soon
deleted
as.
the whole live stream?
I didn't mean to. If I did, I don't do it.
I was just asking. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Just we went to go play it. It was the live where she did her first
Okay, but
initial reaction to everything in September. You know what I mean? And then
if it says unavailable, if it says unavailable, does that mean it's still there? Right? It
I
would
have
still
no
be in her
idea.
back office or
What
whatever.
you're gonna. That's on you guys. I have no idea. This says True Crime Wednesday, Crime Con recap.
Okay, I'll go back and I'll go back as soon as I'm done. But I did want to say that Dr. John looks really good. He's lost a lot of weight. I'm really happy for him, and I hope his health continues to go well and all of that. Because last time I saw him, he was really big. But I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to do. Only thing I have to say is, justice for Duke. Okay, justice for Duke.
Right.
He's the man.
That's
and everyone needs to leave that dog alone, including B. Tim. Justice, clear Duke's name. That's all I gotta say. Okay, I'm gonna drop. Thank you guys.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll see
it.
you later, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Ciao.
I'm gonna drop down too, Queen. Have a good day.
All right,
Thank you
baby.
for letting me up. And yeah, like I said, It was that parasocial, no, Lauren, and
Mm-hmm.
I went through all the phases of it, but I researched myself. You know what I mean? I didn't listen to anybody else's opinions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, am I heartbroken? No, I'm disappointed, and the, I'm more disappointed in what followed. Um, I'm more disappointed in the manipulation in that 9 hours. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's what I'm more disappointed in. And I feel like a fool, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's wild when you trust a creator and then you're like, well, wait a minute.
I was
What?
blown away last night on Trisha's when I heard Dr. John sit
Yeah.
there and laugh and all that stuff at Olivia.
I
Why
put it
are
in
you
back chat in case Queen wants it.
why are you judging somebody's victim? And who are you? Who even
Mm-hmm.
are you? I mean, to give commentary and say, that part touched me and this part touched me, but sit there and judge and say that you just helped Coburger and sit there and laugh and shit. No, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. But, well, y'all have a
Mm-hmm.
good day.
You too, Ro.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
You too,
Queen.
Ro. We'll talk to you later, love. So here's the clip they're talking about. We'll play it so
Mhm.
everybody knows can hear it. Here's the clip.
This is a family that was proactive. This is a family that was going to find out the truth. They were going to find out who committed these murders, and that was a theme here of this family in terms of just letting him know that he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. Olivia, who spoke after Steve, that's Kaylee's sister. She says, I'm angry. She tells us she's angry. She says, I'm angry. I'm shouting inside my own head and everything I could say to you. Oh, but she wasn't done. she goes on. She says, do we have the clip from Olivia?
We do
I
have
can't
it.
give
Yep,
you what
we'll
you
pull it
want.
up. Here we go.
I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words?
She doesn't stop there, by the way. So some of the things she continued to say was that she said, quote, you thought you figured out the human psyche. You thought you were smarter than anyone else. You're a wannabe. You're not profound. You're pathetic. No one is impressed by you. You're pitifully average. don't
right, so is
convince
this coming
yourself
up
that you
or?
matter.
Yep. Yes.
Well,
Rightfully so. Of the sort of they thrive really high. Question for me helped her, right? Because at the end, it's like, fortunately, some problem with that. Not giving any oxygen. Let's forget about them. Let's ignore. In psychology, there's something research, for example, showing that when you put up "do not touch" signs, people want to touch it. there's been some research, like when you say "don't touch this," people touch it way more than they would otherwise, and that's psychological reactance. When you tell people not to do something, or you threaten them with taking away something from them, they're typically going to respond the opposite, or not always, but.
Well, what do you know? That's pretty good advice from her husband. So when you typically tell somebody not to do something, they want to do it. They tend to do it. Hey, Regina, how are you?
Hello, beautiful Queen Bee. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What's going on, baby?
Not much. Just coming up here. There's some stuff I want to, talk about off and on, if it's okay with you, for a little while I'm taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I'm down. What's going on, baby? What's up?
I just there's a couple of things that are really bothering me, like with all of this. Um, and I don't know much about Laura beyond the whole uh Koberger call thing. Like that's the only, real interaction I've ever had with any of her channel or anything like that. Um, but I find it highly, highly alarming that someone that would cover true crime and act like they sympathize with victims, first of all, would pick apart a victim's impact statement like this. And in my opinion, it sounded like, oh, Dr. What's his name here was a little bit offended by Kaylee insulting Brian's intelligence, which I find very weird. And second of all, why would you sit there and go on a rant about law and crime wanting to transparently stream a court proceeding that was in a public court that they got permission to do, and people to sit here and talk down on it and act like, oh no, they wanted to stream my live restraining order hearing. Yeah, well, everybody was all gung-ho whenever it was happening to the Proudfoots, weren't they? Nobody spoke up about that, did they? And I find it disgusting to sit here and compare a girl spat to DV victims and their suffrage. And to act like you would know something about being a DV victim and being silenced because people wanted to stream your crap in court. I find that very egregious, and I hope she comes up off that. I really do.
She's a bitch. That's all I can say. 6 channels analyzed her statement and weren't very positive about it. Yeah. I mean, he's basically laughing at. Well, we're laughing at them now.
Well, and you know what? It didn't. Their sister wasn't fucking brutally murdered and stabbed to death in the goddamn, driving force behind a lot of these goddamn creators, pocketbooks. So
Exactly.
that's the number one problem. She's speaking from the heart for her fucking sister. They're analyzing something that they know nothing about, wasn't a part of, and don't even know how the fuck it feels.
Right.
That part.
Yep. That part is right.
I'm sick of this bullshit. All right, here you ready to go?
Which was in
and Brandon's trial, actually. No, Charles. It started at Charles's trial.
Started at Charles, right?
And then it got worse at Brandon's.
It started at Charles. That was in April, right? So I think one of the things that happened is that you had a lot of people a lot of creators, competitors, employees that used to work for us that we let go, that had some anger towards you, some envy probably for a lot of reasons. We had grown quite a bit over the course of Daybell. Some of them had not. And to many of them, this was their bread and butter. You and I cover a lot of cases, so we weren't dependent upon Daybell. I mean, we did a deep dive. We cared a lot about Daybell. We really threw our hearts and minds into Daybell, but we weren't, we were anticipating the end of Daybell and beginning to transition to other cases. Right. And so, But I don't think that was the case for a lot of these creators that had invested everything in Daybell. And now here Daybell was coming to an end. And I think inevitably that meant that there had to be a certain amount of mourning. There's always a certain amount of grief when you're with something for 5 or 6 years and you put your heart and soul into it, and now it's ending. Like, how do you process those emotions?
Right.
How do you make sense of that? Right. That's the question. Are you able to acknowledge that this is the end? Are you able to grieve that a little bit?
Right.
Are you able to transition from that to something else? And if you can't, then what happens? Right? What happened here, I believe, is that the very dynamics of Daybell, which was a small group of people coming together, labeling people as zombies, and then
They call
murdering
themselves
them.
the Seven Gatherers. Let's
Right.
be honest.
They call themselves the Seven Gatherers, right? You turned out to be the zombie because of their inability to grieve. And so in that context, what's absolutely fascinating to me here is that the very dynamics that were in play that led to the murders of a number of people on Daybell, those dynamics were duplicating themselves with everything going on with you and us in the smear campaign, that we became the zombies because they couldn't grieve. They couldn't deal with the transition. They had to find anything to hurt you. They found private texts.
I mean, they were desperately looking. They were calling any person that they weren't calling people that they thought loved me. They were calling any person that might have a reason to be angry at me.
Not only calling, they were doxing. They were scrubbing every corner of the internet. It's unbelievable. And for one purpose, and the one purpose was to ruin you because they were convinced you were evil. And by the way, if you think about it, like, and we'll get, I'm just scratching the surface here, but if you think about it, this is the literal definition of a witch hunt.
Yeah.
That's the same dynamics that went on in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. They're going on here. And we're going to talk more about that in a lot of depth. And I'm rereading, by the way, The Crucible by Arthur Miller, which is his play that's based on the historical record from the Salem trials and the Salem witchcraft trials in 1692 and 1693. I'm digging into this as much as I can in terms of trying to really kind of capture some of the dynamics, and that's a big part of it. It's the dehumanization is a big part of this, and but it starts with this. It starts with,
well, dehumanization is the big part of it. But here, let's see. What does it start with?
This failure to really see what's going on, to understand that something's.
She rolled her eyes.
Coming to an end. That's been your bread and butter. It's been your entire identity. It's been your life.
Why do I feel like he's lecturing Lauren? It's been your entire identity. Yeah. It's been your life.
Yep.
And it has been. It is her entire identity. I feel like he's talking to her. Yep, Mary Queen of Shots says it's just out of character for them. I don't understand why they are making all of these rookie mistakes. They need to invest in a good PR person, completely tone deaf. Girl, I'm saying.
Lauren would never. She has to have control.
Dangly member for 14 months. She says she's putting her journalism skills to use, controlling the narrative for what's likely coming out. Damage control, in my opinion. I don't like the manipulation. That goes. That's why the paywall. Petty AF, thank you for becoming a new member. And I think we're caught up here. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
That goes back to the whole how asinine is it to sit there and rag on Long Crime for wanting to actually cover it transparently through the courts. And they want to rag on, someone that's been a supporter of their channel. You know what I'm saying? That has welcomed them on their show and everything. And rag on them for wanting to cover it with transparency. But it's okay. It's okay to come out here and paint their narrative solo on their side. You know what I mean? It's really one-sided by design, by Lauren, I feel.
It seems kind of like to me where, Beach was like, hey, I'm being stalked, I'm being harassed. This is all happening to me as we're watching, and it's not happening at all. She's saying all these words, but there's no proof. I haven't seen any proof of these text messages. I haven't seen any proof of this stalking. I haven't seen anybody. There's no videos of people driving by her house, stalking her down. And then you're going to sit here and we're going to give out more juicy details. We didn't tell you in the 9-hour live, but get behind this paywall with us. Pay to be a member on a higher tier, and you can find out all the things.
I'm about to go see how much it is.
There's so much more that we left out.
Yeah. I'm about to
But
go
you're
see
going to
what
have
their
to buy that
highest tier
higher
is.
paywall. A regular Patreon ain't enough. Like, literally, it was almost like a donkey cackling in the wind all over again.
Well, yeah, and I'm thankful for my stalkers. Okay, well, that's not going to sit well. That's not going to age well at all. Not at all.
For 5 years, some of these people made a lot of money on this.
Did you, John? John, did you? You guys have 320,000 subs. 320,000 subs. Y'all make damn good money on here. Stop it.
And you, as you point out, you've always been a little different. You've kind of had your own style, right? You're not conformist. You stood out. You're an easy target for this group. Also, the fact that we grew a lot and some of them didn't, obviously there's probably some envy, right? But I think the problem here is the lack of insight, the lack of self-awareness of what they're feeling and how to process that and how not to scapegoat someone for that.
Yeah. And in her declaration, she has to point out that I don't like to conform.
Right.
It really is fascinating that, like, out of all of the things she says, Matthias describes how she does not like conformity. And for that reason, many people do not like her. And then she goes, see? And I'm like, yeah. And we're saying, see, we're saying that. And you're saying that. And yes, that. I mean, it's
exactly
fascinating
right.
because we literally were on that Patreon, even though we couldn't share what was going on. This is what John and I were talking about because of what was happening. Thus, we were talking about how I don't like to conform. And that because of that, many people might not like that. And that's what they found. That Patreon episode and pulled it to put in her declaration. That's their issue.
Conformity, by the way,
So I'm a witch.
Conformity is the essence of the Salem witch trials. For those who don't know the Salem witch trials, essentially it begins with a group of characters and females dancing in the woods.
Here the fuck we go. So get ready for this. Get fucking ready for this. B. Tim said, so has anyone here seen anything that shows her afraid for her life and why you don't want to the RO hearing but read all the evidence? Yeah, pretty fucking damning, huh? Pretty fucking damning. I hope people hype the fuck out of this so people can see the way they acted and see this shit. I swear to God, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're dancing in the woods and, they're young, they're trying to let loose a little bit, but you don't do that in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692 if you're like teenagers going to parties or whatever teenagers do, right? And so absolutely that was the issue. The witch is the definition of a nonconformist because a conformist would abide by the morals of the community, which back then in 1692 there's only one set of morals in the community, and those are Christian morals, right? So those are biblical morals. And so if you don't, and a witch by definition is the opposite of Christian morality,
right?
A witch would be associated with demons and zombies and the devil. So, so by definition, a witch is a nonconformist, and that's exactly what they're saying.
Oh my God!
So you in many ways that's exactly what. Like, I know it's a cliche now to say this is a witch hunt, but like
this shit's wild as fuck to me.
This was a witch hunt.
No,
by every definition of witch hunt, and
this is Lauren. Had a fight with her friends and doesn't want the shit to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't want other messages to come out that could possibly, have blowback.
It feels more like a witch hunt what old Doctor over here and Lauren are doing, in my opinion, because they are literally sitting here on a platform. They have completely denied the other person's opinion coming out publicly, transparently, in court hearings, and are literally burning someone at the stake without that person having a say in it. Kind of like they used to muzzle the women that were put on trial, as witches. So they couldn't speak, right? Because they were afraid that they would be, cursed by the witch.
He's
Just
reaching.
saying.
Very, very, he's trying to reach and he ain't getting too far. This is backfiring as fuck.
We'll talk more about that. But I think so. That combination of Daybell ending, the grieving, the inability to see that, the need for a scapegoat, all of that, I think, kind of leads to this moment. It leads to stalking. It leads to groupthink, right? It leads to the mob mentality. All of this is connected. And all you have to do, by the way, is there's so many famous experiments in psychology. One of my favorite experiments of all time is the Solomon Asch experiments, where he shows a group of people different lines, and they have different lengths. And it's clear that some of the lines are longer than other ones, right? But there's Confederates in the group. And he gets the Confederates to say the lines that are longer are shorter, right? And they're like, well, those lines are clearly shorter. And they're not, right? And so people in the room are confused. And people in the room are like, wait a minute, those look longer. And people are like, no, they're shorter, right? And so what happens? What happens in the group? The people who think the lines are longer are convinced by the other members that the lines are shorter, right? You can take something as simple as that, and you can convince a group to believe whatever the hell the most persuasive members of that group believe.
It's fascinating because I've even said to you, like, there's one of them, I'm like, I was always nice to her. She was always nice to me. I don't know what I did. I would have never thought she'd do this. I don't get it. And you're always like, groupthink.
She was convinced, again, it's the Asch experiment. She was convinced that the line was a different length than she couldn't see the line for what it was because she was buying into what the group was selling her. She was persuaded by the group. And again, conformity.
And it shows how people will see things the way the group sees them rather than through evidence. And I actually pointed that out on the live too. I said, if you see something, I go, stand up. I said, all those people that were group bullying that just didn't do anything and didn't stand up.
Are you serious?
And say no.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
It's all about me.
Manipulation for her getting busted. Shit talking. I didn't listen to a group. Yeah, there's no group think. What the fuck? You had 10,000 people in your fucking chat coddling your ass the entire fucking time. Stop that right now. Stop the fucking madness.
Like, what did this person do?
Right. There's absolutely no attempt at like journalistic integrity here or journalistic verification, right? Like there's so many things. That's another part of the Salem witch trials, by the way. The reason why 19 witches were.
Hey, Sam Sleuthen, what's up, baby?
Hi guys, you all right? Can you hear me? I'm not too loud.
Nope, I got you. I hear you good, baby. What's up?
I'm just Regina knows this is my bag. Yeah. I've just tuned in and I'm like, he's talking about Asch and Sheriff. Now, yes, he is talking about groupthink, but the premise of both of their research, Asch and Sheriff, was obedience and conformity. So don't let these pair bamboozle you about groupthink and crowd behavior and all the things, because Asch and Sheriff were predominantly obedience and conformity because I've studied it myself. So that's what I was coming in to say. Yeah.
It's wild.
And I'll jump down because obviously I'm doing my nails, I'm making some noise, but I'll jump down and obviously if I've got anything else to say, I'll come back up.
You got it.
Well, I appreciate you coming up, baby.
All right, no worries.
Thank
you. Bye,
Sam.
Executed in Salem, Massachusetts. Right. There's absolutely no attempt at like journalistic integrity here or journalistic verification, right? Like there's so many things. That's another part of the Salem witch trials, by the way. The reason why 19 witches were executed in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692 largely was because the courts had already reached a conclusion. The courts,
No.
there was no, whatever evidence was presented didn't matter. The courts already believed that the victims were witches, and so that it was foreordained that they were going to be convicted and executed. And once they were labeled as witches, there was no amount of evidence that could convince anyone that they weren't.
Right.
And so you had in that courtroom in Salem, Massachusetts, you had an extreme instance of confirmation bias, right? And of course, it's the job of the court system.
It's the job of the court system, but you went to the court system and dropped it and said you no longer needed
Yes.
their help. You no longer wanted their services. You dropped their services and said you no longer needed them.
Yes. Yes.
And literally went to YouTube and pitched their version of things to their audience.
There you go. That's it. They're fucking weirdos. They're all weirdos. Why is she
Absolutely
glaring in the camera? She's the kind of person who always looks at the camera. I like when people do that, though.
I think this is an accurate picture of like what's going on here. I'm looking down, her looking up. I glare like that. Witness protection says, "Sir, your wife dropped the RO without her evidence being seen," and that's one of the biggest problems. Brianna coming in with a $5 super sticker says, "Having 300,000 subs and taking swipes at someone with 300 is punching down. Victims do not punch down; bullies do."
I can imagine what B Tim thinks about all this right now.
B Tim wants to come up. He wanted, you know what I'm saying, wants to come up and chat about it, but he's doing this thing today. He's working his stuff. So barking at the moon. I'm getting Jody Hildebrand and Ruby Frankie vibes from these two. Well, I mean, I don't know too much about all that, but I'm just witness protection says, so Lauren talks bad about a person, and then each person she has dogged is now in a group of people she talked bad about. Seems like a pattern to me. And Miss Price, I'm glad you found us too. She said, listen, she said, I'm glad I found this channel because I thought I was the only one that didn't understand what she was doing. You found your place, baby. You found your place. Mother McReady says the so-called stalker is free to show receipts now since no RO in effect anymore. Where's she at, Mother McReady? We need to find her. Tell her, come on over, baby. We got you. Come on over, Christina. Come on, baby. Come on. Go over here. Click the link. Come on. Come up here and talk to us. We need to hear this. We need to hear what's really going on.
I want to know the text. That's all I want to fucking know. Like, are there really any texts that would have ruined her? That's what I'm
let's
saying.
Play it here. Let's play it like this. The texts get released. We read through them. We're like, oh, that really ain't even shit. Who cares? Like, we do not care. You know, like, oh my God, her house is dirty. She's so ugly. And did you see her nails? They had dirt under them.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that?
Yep.
Or is it going to be like, damn, that bitch was fat as hell. Did you see that dress? That looked terrible. She should never wear that again. Like, is it going to be like some real shit? Or is it going to be like, did you know the secretary did this? Did you know, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like,
or
it's going to be like, really, she's ugly and her eyebrows look terrible. Because I'm going to be like, fuck that. That is not talking shit. But to her, that's the thing, though. Some people get offended by the smallest fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen,
Yes.
I've had people get so fucking offended with me, and I'm more lenient. I mean, I don't really give a shit. Like, for the most part, I'm just whatever. You know what I mean?
Or is it going to be some stuff like comes out, you know, in mod chats that get leaked eventually that'll, you know, someone over here, I'm not going to say her name, someone over here was pulling some dirty crap behind the scenes, sabotaging someone else.
We shall see, hopefully.
Sounds familiar, huh?
Get up behind that paywall. Wait, I'm looking at Brianna's comment. If she is who I'm thinking of, did she get
Uh-oh, big girl, you yeeted yourself. She dropped. Uh-oh. Or is it going to be something like, I don't know, actually talking bad about victims' families or something like, ooh, that would be awful.
Justice
And
for
I don't,
Melissa. Oh, sorry, baby. I might have the fucking lag. Shit.
no, go ahead. That's all I had to say.
Here, I'm gonna pop back up just in case it's me. Okay.
Okay.
I got booted real quick.
Oh, did you get booted?
I
I
got
thought you
booted.
booted yourself.
No. Justice for
'cause
Alyssa. Justice for Alyssa. We love you. Thank you so much for your gift. We appreciate the gifted memberships. Let's see who shook out them bushes. That's very kind of you, Melissa. Looks like all good people got them.
All right, we're back.
Yay.
All right, you guys. Okay, so we hear Big Girl for I dropped you, Big Girl for Life, because you were lagging real bad, and so you were talking right over the top of me. Every time I was talking, you'd start talking too, and I can't have that. So so it dropped down. But I don't know if there's something going on with your phone or if you got YouTube playing in the background, but it seems to happen quite often when you come up.
All right, I'm a drop girl.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, we got to figure it out. So when you come up, we don't, because we clash pretty bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's either like a lag, or you're not hearing me, or you're listening to YouTube and talking through StreamYard, which will cause a slight lag.
Okay, I got you.
Are you on StreamYards or are you on YouTube?
I'm on StreamYard.
Do you listen through YouTube, or do you type through
No, I'm
StreamYard
listening. Yeah, I typed through StreamYard.
And listen on StreamYard, like you close YouTube completely down?
Completely.
Oh, gotcha. Some people will listen on YouTube and type on StreamYard, and it's hard because it causes a little bit of a lag in between, or they'll type on their phone but listen on the TV. So they'll have the live playing on the TV and then type on StreamYard, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it causes a slight lag. So I didn't know if it was just that, if that's how you were doing it. Because it's like it happens
That's
with
how
us.
I used to do it. That's how I used to do it.
That's what that's what I thought. I was gonna say I knew there was something kind of like because it's only like a couple seconds.
I got you, girl.
Yeah, it's all good. We got so we're gonna let me pop this back up on here again. Did you see what her fucking face every time he says something that she don't like, she gives like that like the stank eye. Like right now, still look at that. She just looks like she's pissed off. He didn't like what he said. But yeah, let me go back here anyways, because I didn't like what he said either.
No. So let's see.
Did you hear that? Look at that little head turn there.
Janice and Christina, but after 9 hours, you know. So
yeah, well, Janice and Christina probably don't want to be blasted on a fucking channel with 300,000 people either.
And
yeah, well, so are you. You've been parenting and doing this without me too. I know you're exhausted too, and I know the stress you felt knowing that I was going to go live. We knew, he knew, and I knew. We were talking about it, but just you thinking about me doing that while I was away was stressing you out, and just taking care of our son while
very stressful. And let me talk about if you want to talk about some of the ripple effects of this, it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to mention this, but the last couple of days, with our son, he's having a hard time. The last few days in particular, I try to reassure him. I'm saying this because I want people to understand the severity of what's happened here.
And I don't think that's okay that their kid is scared. I think that's bullshit. I mean, nobody's kid should be scared like that. Melissa, thank you for the 20 memberships. I think I said thank you, but I'm not sure if I dropped down or not. But thank you for the 20 memberships. If you guys got one, please make sure you tell her thank you. Our little birthday girl coming in hot with a $20 super sticker. You having a good birthday today? I woke up on straight bullshit. Davis fan member for 31 months. She could never handle the streets over here. For hell no. She wouldn't know what to do. Roro said with the $5 super sticker, don't forget this. Witch hunting gaslighting was to her dedicated gems paying for their Patreons use the entire gas station on them. Dangly says, I'm shocked to see who these people really are. You know what, Dangly? That's the biggest thing is some people believe in these creators. Like you listen, I have had fucking battles, like wars with people over their fucking favorite creators. Like their creator, you know what I mean? Like they might come on here and be, they might come on here and put on an act and be, the nicest person in the entire world. And then when the button goes off, the live button ends, they're an asshole. There's some people that are like that, though. I mean, shit, you're getting the same person right now that you're going to get in person that you're going to get every day. I can't change for the screen.
You know what, Queen Bee? But for me, it's not even so much that they might be a-holes offline. It's the sneaking around trying to cover the fact that they're a-holes to put on a public facade that gets me. That part is what gets me. Not owning who you are, you know what I'm saying?
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it probably hurt her feelings to hear that stuff about her brother. I mean, it would hurt anybody's feelings. Anybody going through that, you know what I mean, would be upset, would be hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that some of the comparisons they are making is just to engorge their own egos. I really do. It feels that way because of what they're comparing it to. I mean, these people say they're true crime. They want to compare it to, witch trials literally where, women had no voice, period, end of story, and were it was a popularity contest and they lost. Second of all, they want to compare it to DV victims. That's just gross. And third of all, they want to sit and, cry and piss and moan about, oh, Long Crime wanted to show it. Long Crime would have been more transparent, in my opinion. And the fact that they came on and are now only pushing their narrative while comparing this to being witch hunted, oh, come off it. You know what I mean?
Shit is wild. Looks like Miss Harmony got a membership. Still lurking, huh? That's funny. I just don't understand why he's going into all the witch fucking hunt bullshit. That to me is just way too far. Like, and I know she ain't having it. Like Queen said when she rolls her eyes and shit.
Real trauma doesn't have to be compared to everyone else's trauma in order to seem bigger. You know what I mean? And anytime someone starts taking actual grievances that have happened against a group of people and trying to make themselves part of that movement with petty bullcrap, it makes my eyebrows raise, just not quite as high as Lauren's.
That's a fucking $5,000 every 6 month face right there. Don't get me wrong. If I could afford it, I would do it too. Not that I need to, but I would do it too. But I wouldn't look like Ronald McDonald eyebrows. Witches are a big thing in their religion. Have you ever been to Salt Lake City during Halloween? No. Weird as fuck. Stitching. I have a feeling Dr. John lectures her all the time.
It's like watching someone turn into plastic before your very eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. What does it say? Her faces just look like my teenagers. Oh my gosh. I love all that history too, Crystal. I do too. But as opposed to this situation, no. Oh, good to Autumn. Wow, that's awesome to Autumn. I bet she's happy. Really? I didn't even think of that. Is it Daylon Day? I could never get past them being in separate rooms. Oh, when like they're doing their show. I mean, that doesn't say much to me, but do.
You know what, Rowena? I could see that. I haven't really watched Lauren much. I'm only getting this, broadside of what's going on here. But I could see asking myself that too if I was someone that had followed them a long time, and then this is just messy, y'all. This is some messy stuff right here. And in my opinion, I can see someone coming out and wanting to say their piece, but to silence the other person to do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. I get it, Ro.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Nonsense showed her face from 13 years ago. Her face was not this severe. Wow. Yeah, I have to say I watched all of the Daybell and Valo content through her. And I appreciated all of it. I started with the Heather Daybell show, and then it went on from there. And so through all those trials, I watched only her. So this is where you're like, holy fuck, man. Like, what? I was so shocked. It was ridiculous the other night when she did that 9-hour live. I was so shocked.
Her lips are so overfilled. She looks like she has a wad of tobacco in her bottom lip. Tell me I'm wrong.
Mm. Yeah, you can see how it kind of goes below her lip line a little. It happens. Don't get me wrong. I think she's pretty. I think she's very pretty, but I also, if you watched the video of her, I know, Sam. I know. Same. Oops, sorry, hold on. T-Stex better be worse than the Epstein files. Oh, God. I don't want to know what those say. That's true. Beautifully well broken. Very true. Mm-mm-mm. It probably is full of embellishments, what is true. Probably. Because I really didn't see anything that went as far as to say, we're going to file an injunction. Not in a million years.
I felt it was kind of wrong to put a victim's impact statement under the microscope because I don't feel like families who have been through something this horrendous should be put under a microscope or their statements picked apart or even judged, because those families have a right to feel how they feel and say what they want to say after being, victims themselves of something like that. Because honestly, the families are the ones that suffer the most. They are the ones that have the most right to say whatever they think, in my opinion. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, they had been waiting for that moment for so long to say what they needed to say. And they all did a beautiful job. Pick this apart and laugh while you're critiquing and breaking it down. Like if Olivia saw that, oh, she'd be like, whatever, bro. But apparently they have a close relationship with the Goncalves family, or at least Lauren.
Well, I think she had. I think that's another thing, in my opinion. I think that's another thing she's really nervous or scared about is things coming out about victims or their families or something along those lines.
Oh, that maybe she could have said something bad and it's going to come out. Wow. I hope not.
Yeah, I think that's the only one of the. Well, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I don't think she'd be panicking as bad as she is, just on some regular bullshit. Just if it was like, an argument or a fight with one of her friends. Don't get me wrong. I feel like these girls definitely, got together. There's a lot of them that don't like her, which they tend to do. People that don't like you link up with people that don't like you, link up with people that don't like you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. People you don't like, people that didn't like Betty, we all linked up together too, did we not?
Right. Yep.
People
We
that don't like
did.
BJ, we all link up together. We stick together. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. People that don't like me get together. It's just how it is. That's just how it is. People that don't like Lauren, they're gonna find their way over here to this channel. They're gonna be like, "Damn, I felt the same way." There's gonna be a lot of them that come over this way because she fucking out of 320,000 people. Let's see how many views this shit's got on it.
I wonder how many subs
Do you think out of all the people that fucking went on that, then of course you're gonna have people that so like Justice for Alyssa, people see her dropping super chats and shit like that, right? First thing they do is go to her and be like, "She don't like you. She was talking about you. She says she don't like you." Shit with fucking Lauren. It's just how it goes. Could be any creator. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's a good analogy. Definitely.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I know Lauren has MS too, but that's no excuse. She's that has nothing to do with it. Or it does, I have no clue. That's
Whether or
right,
not
Butter. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Adam. Whether or not she is actually having her judgment clouded by going through some things or not, I have to question, because this all seems very controlled and very planned and very schemed. So even if it is something clouding her judgment, this is well planned out, and that in itself makes me go, I don't feel bad that this is making her look bad herself, because this is all schemed up. In my opinion, allegedly.
Queen, I gotta hop down, love. Thank you for having me up.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you, baby.
Absolutely. Regina, have a good day, honey.
Bye, big girls for life. We'll see you later, beautiful.
Bye.
Autumn says, "Oh my God, she suggested she's going federal." Yeah, she did. And we're gonna go to Duty Ron's right now. And so get ready, because he actually agrees with a lot of what she said. So but she did respond to some of the questions we had. I will say that. So I don't know if somebody sent them to her, if she's watching or what, but she responded to a few of them. Let's pull this up here. She keeps naming Lori Hellis. She just did, like she does in the middle of this interview here too. Which I don't know why she brings her up all the time like she does, but whatever.
Pecan pie, you crack me up.
Yeah, I like Duty Ron too. Sam Sleuth says I like Duty Ron, but he will be biased. Apparently Ed Wallace was unaware of this until before the live. Shadow says Duty Ron is 100% biased because they are friends. I can't take him seriously on this at all. Yeah, I was gonna say, and I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go. Let's do this. Flutter says, just for Alyssa, you're a prime example that Queen isn't the mean, hateful, angry bitch. She forgave you. Most wouldn't have. It's been nice seeing you change and understanding the gaslighting. Well, yeah, she is a prime example of it because she went from coming on this platform and going over there with them because barbecue was over here and she had issues with her, not realizing that, they were real life and pieces of shit. All right, so this is Duty Ron's take on this. Let's see here.
On a regular basis, and the like online. We have touched on this in the past, Ed. We did live streams for a lot of other creators who have been experiencing this, but we know that it happens to the everyday Joe citizen. Everyday guys, gals get stalked and harassed online on a regular basis. Doesn't matter if it's YouTube, doesn't matter if it's TikTok, whatever the platform. These actions have serious consequences sometimes, and sometimes people lose their lives based on the harassment, stalking, and the rhetoric that gets fired up in between the conversations on Twitter and Instagram and X, and stories get twisted, and people that are somewhat angry with the particular creator or person could now be pushed over onto the other side of that fence. And I want you to talk a little bit about, what we're going to get into with our good friend Lauren from Hidden True Crime tonight. She's going to be joining us in a few minutes, Ed. Whoops, I did that wrong, Ed.
Well, and you know what? Him and Lauren are friends, and I do think that he wants to, be nice about it, to be honest. Rowena says, hold on, bet Duty Ron wouldn't stand up for Queen against Diaper Dave. You know what? There is no, I mean, he, when it comes to somebody who's got mental illness like David does and alcoholism like he does, and you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on there. You know what I mean? Like he makes shit up. He's been in trouble for terroristic threats. He's been arrested for making shit up, pretending to be people he's not. He calls himself a social media consultant because he's embarrassed as fuck of his content, which he should be. I mean, there's actual stalking like David has done to me and my children, and then there's this bullshit here. Hurt feelings over text messages and private text and private conversations getting leaked. That is not harassment. If that's the fucking case, goddamn it, Sludge, you've been harassed the fuck out of me with your bullshit when you was dropping them all the time. Cause you are that snake bitch and she'll do it again. That's in the fucking intro. So, I mean, what the fuck? Some of the shit, like I said, I can't take her serious. The shit's, I mean, if there was somebody running FOIAs on her family and background checks and putting all her information out and putting pictures of her when she was fucking pregnant and, having surgery and shit and putting that out, or, I mean, there'd be, where's the fucking proof that anybody's done anything to her? She has not shown any fucking proof of anything being done to her.
Where did you go? There you go. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, I can't stand bullying of any kind, whether it's kids at school, online, cyberbullying, whatever you want to call it. I have no place for that in my stomach. I cannot stand that. Okay. And nothing gets me more riled up than when parents of children who are bullies start bullying children as well. But there's bullying and then there's stalking. Now, these are two different things, but you can do both and be both, okay, at the same time. But now you're getting into the world of Ron and I, and we're going to be giving you our perspectives as retired New York City detectives of how we had to deal with things like this in our careers, where women had to go and get orders of protection from our courts to help protect them from stalkers, ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, okay, things of that nature. And remember, I always tell you, stay prepared, stay safe, and watch your six. And it's for a reason, okay? Even though you get these orders of protection, they're just paper, okay? You still have to take the appropriate protective actions for yourself and your family against these people. Now, when we were all kids, we can all remember this and relate to it. When we were all kids in school, before the internet, okay, you had a bully at school. Well, there was a break from that bully after school was over and you went home typically, okay? And you had your core group of friends in your neighborhood and that's where you hung out. And typically the bully wasn't in your neighborhood and was someplace else. So you had that break. It wasn't 24/7, 365, now, as it is today with the advent of social media and the internet, okay?
Yeah, but this isn't 24/7, 365. This is like, I mean, this is like girls on the fucking internet arguing back and forth. I mean, I don't think you're understanding the situation quite as what it is. And we're fucking adults, Ed. We're not children. We're not fucking grade school. I know we sound like we're in high school some days, and I know Lauren's fucking story sounds like some mean high school girl fighting, but I mean, come on, we're fucking adults here. Shit.
And
there's people that are doing this. You are.
We gotta skip through this bullshit. I can't. Let's get to the motherfucking, showstopper, the motherfucking social media star, Lauren.
And again, there's no comparison over a girl spat versus an ex-boyfriend that abused you. You know what I'm saying? There's no comparison. I just, every time, it seems like these people are completely out of touch to even be comparing this, in my opinion.
I mean, it would be one thing if she wasn't just caught on her fucking Patreon thanking her stalker and saying, thank you, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Gotta make it to pay a higher paywall to get the content. Like, really, dude? Come on, man.
Listen, let's grab our good friend Lauren Matthias. Let's let her come in here and let's have a conversation about what she's experienced over the last several months. And I don't even know the exact timeline of how long this has been going on, but let's let her talk to our audience because we do share a lot of similar subscriber base. So a lot of our people follow her and vice versa. Lauren, thank you for coming here and thank you for taking the time out of your family life to come and talk to us about this.
Absolutely. Well, I first off just want to thank both of you for having me. Honestly, it was clearly very overwhelming to do. I never wanted to do it. I was clearly very emotional. I felt like my hand had been forced and I didn't really know how to then appear back on YouTube, which is my work and what I do. And so I just want to first off thank the Duty Ron channel for being just a safe space for me to like come back on and break the silence after that marathon. So thank you to my friends, Ed and Ron. So I'm doing okay. I'm back home with my husband, John. We're okay. We feel good. I still feel very scared. I know that I feel like I took my power back, but I also I'm still into like what's next. You know, I know that a lot of people are now doing lives about my life, and so I'm just hunkered down and with my family. I'm very grateful to be with them, and grateful that you called and reached out. And for everyone, I guess I want to say too, like thank you to everyone that's reached out, creators, gems, everyone. We are getting the emails. Thank you. We did a little private Patreon will be, and I'll be back on YouTube after this, but thank you for allowing me to have a place to just come back and say, hi, I'm okay.
It takes time, Lauren. This is, bless you, Ed. This is not a normal thing. Look, we as law enforcement professionals, we're used to dealing with this. You know, I've responded to arguably thousands of domestic incident calls. Ed, same thing for him. But what we mentioned and what we can bring to this conversation is that the escalation of this and how this can spiral out of control.
Well, yeah, it can spiral out of control real fucking quick.
I want to just validate your fears. I want to say that, you know, as a mother, you as a mother, me as a father, and your husband, obviously, Dr. John as a dad, your first, instinct is to protect your family and protect the vulnerable, your son. And I have questions. I have a lot of questions to ask you.
And you're allowed to ask him. You want just to like make it fair. If you ask a question that I don't want to answer, I'll say I don't want to answer it. So I'm a journalist. Like I can handle questions. Ask away. I'm sure a lot of people are curious. Go for it. And I have some questions for you too. As law enforcement, I'll have questions for you too. So I hope this isn't just be a conversation among friends. Yeah. I think there are a couple things I want to clear up. I think one of the big fair criticisms I've gotten or questions that I've gotten, maybe not even a criticism, but a question is I cover criminal cases. I cover people's pain. It is true. I try to do it ethically, but crime is pain. And I cover trials and criminal trials. What is different with mine being live streamed? And I think I want to explain that the reason that civil stalking injunctions are not live streamed would be the same reason, or even reported on would be the same reason that a child custody battle wouldn't be live streamed, or anything that has to do with really someone trying to escape an abuser, which is coercive control. You've got intimidation, coercive control, things that you can speak to, fears of escalation, fears of people that don't like me finding out, and it escalating, getting bigger and bigger to where it potentially becomes a more concerning, frightening situation. So the actual idea of a civil stalking injunction being reported on, in my opinion, is just so unethical. I want to point out too, as a journalist, someone with a background, I would never cover such a thing. And on our channel, we would never cover such a thing, just like we wouldn't cover, a child custody battle. So I do want to explain that difference. And yes, though, I also want to humbly say, has it made me rethink even bigger how I'm going to cover crime in the future? Yes, we do try to be victim-centered. We do try to be aware. We do try to be careful. And I will continue to do that, hidden to crime, and maybe even become better at it and more empathic. But I did want to explain that difference a little bit, because that was a big question out there. What's the difference between a criminal trial and what this was? And I, to this day, I'll never understand why they put in a media request and why they never reach out to me to understand more, but whatever.
Yeah. And one of my questions was going to be, and you beat me to the punch. It's one of on my list, and I have a whole list here. I have a whole notepad. Do you know why law and crime trials got wind, or how they got wind of this civil case? Because like you said, there are high profile civil cases that we heard of them covering. Johnny Depp, some of these other ones you listed you mentioned it in your video that you did, the 9-hour video. Other creators that have a lot of drama surrounding them, and their cases where it's a civil case is out there in the news and people are talking about it. The news goes and tries to cover it, gives local coverage to it. But, it just seemed like, for me as a detective, I detected something stunk about this, that
yeah, I don't know. And I don't understand his I don't understand his take on this shit. Yeah, they don't intervene in the shit either. Here we go.
It was just weird that Law and Crime all of a sudden was focusing on Lauren Matthias and her civil case that she was in the process of moving forward. And Ed, you agreed with me when we were in the green room talking about this. It just didn't seem right. Can you speak on to that, or would you rather not?
No, I'll be willing. I don't know. So full disclosure, I don't know. To this day, Law and Crime has never reached out to me, ever, not even since. I do know that one creator named Lori Hellis did a live at the same time I was doing a live. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that was happening. And that she stated that she was sitting with my stalker and Anjanette Levy at CrimeCon when police were trying to escort my stalker out. By the way, I want to clarify that night was the night after the photos were taken, because there's some people saying that they were there. There were 2 nights. So the first night she was there, the photos were taken. We were sitting, we've been there all night, and she was just there with a camera hanging around us in socks. The second night, I'll clarify this too, because people are telling stories. The second night, Aurora PD was very well aware. They actually referred to her as an agitator. They saw the evidence and what was happening. They referred to her as an agitator. They saw that she was in the bar the second night. And, I hadn't been there. I'd been at the Clue Awards celebrating the Delphi victims receiving an award. Right. So she could technically be allowed in the bar as long as she was 500 feet from me. So the Aurora PD actually escorted us and said to me and my producer, go around the bar, go look and see if you can see her before you enter, so that we can then ask her to leave. So we were requested by police to do that, because there are rumors about how, we were told to do that. So we looked, we saw she was there. And so we told the police officer on duty, and they asked her to leave. And I do know, according to Lori Hellis, she's with, I can't think of her channeling, but she stated while I was going live that she was with Anjanette Levy and my stalker when approached. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm just relaying what one creator stated, but I don't know. I don't want to put any blame on anyone, because like I said, I don't know. I was just absolutely shocked. And I'll tell you this too, as someone that covers trials, this was very interesting. But we had heard, my team of attorneys, and I had heard like 3-4 days earlier that there had been a media request. And when there is a media request, you know this, you find out who's requesting to be pool or what they're requesting. You're like, oh, Court TV is asking to be pool. We'll see, if it gets approved or not. It's in there, it's on the docket. You can see it. And we could see there was a media request, which was shocking. We couldn't see who. So I thought, oh, maybe it's a small YouTuber, like trying to get in, their hearing. And so our attorneys called the court and said, hey, can you tell us who the media request is from? They said, we can't actually, because it went from somebody straight to the judge's desk. And so we can't see who it's for. I'm like, huh. And so we wrote, which I read on my 9-hour live, a very lengthy reason as to why there should never be media in a civil stalking injunction, and my specific civil stalking injunction, why I'm in danger. And like I said, this is someone trying to escape a coercive control issue. And then I was actually at my attorney's office when it was approved, and they were like, it was a long crime. And so I will never know why they did that. Yeah, they're not checking the Utah civil, and I will never know why they didn't reach out to me and how this happened.
Yeah, interesting. I want to switch gears just a minute because, I got a little ahead of myself here.
I wonder if she reached out to every single person that she covered. Like, did she reach out to them and make sure it was okay that she covered their case and everything with it? I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just kind of curious.
Not only that, but I've also picked up on her comparing this to a child custody battle. Nobody wants that. You know what? There's a big difference whenever there's actually a minor child involved. Not out of any choice of either parent that child is involved because of the other parent. And it's completely different than telling your own child all of your YouTube and all of your drama crap. It's completely different. Completely.
About asking about war and crime. But another question that I had for you, and I think a lot of people want to know, and I do believe that you gave quite a detailed explanation of this, is, do you know, Lauren, why this is happening to you? Why and how this started? Can you give an overview to folks who might not be clear on this, is exactly how and why when these wheels started turning and the turn of events that led to where we are today?
Yeah. And then if you want to jump in and tell me why you really think it's happening, let me know. Like I say, I'm hidden true crime. We're proud to say that we have the hidden motives, but at this point, you being law enforcement, maybe you can help me understand. But I can say in general, the TLDR for those that they can't handle watching a 9-hour live stream, is I have a business that was growing, and I had contract workers, and one of them quit unhappy, and then I had another contract worker who I then terminated. And then I had them, then I had the friends, and then there were friends. Two contract workers. Like I should say, the stalker was also a contract worker. Although oddly, she says on her TikTok accounts targeting me that she was just an ex-friend and never a TikTok worker, but I have plenty of invoices, so she was. And so you've got two ex-contract workers contacting another ex-contract worker, and then you've got this stalker that's actually reaching out to every person I confided might have a beef with me from my past, and they're getting a larger and larger group together. I think their ultimate thing of power is that in private conversations, I said mean things about people, and that they have the receipts and that they know. And then what this group did is then start reaching out to other people to join the fold. I call it a whisper campaign, where it's all behind the scenes. And I can tell you, like, this is actually, I get a lot of texts all the time. My phone was silent. Like, I don't know how far this went, and then we're getting whispers and threats, and a few things are coming out, and someone's finally calling me saying, hey, I got a call from this person. And I'm like, that person? And they're telling me, people I've interviewed, people I love, to never trust you again, that you're evil, like that you are really bad. And, things like that. It just continues, but it all leads back to what I just told you, ex-contract workers. All roads lead back to the ex-contract workers and their friends. And then, it just goes bigger and bigger. No one reaching out to me, by the way, not even law and crime. And getting bigger and bigger to the point where there's this giant snowball. I don't know right from left. And then it gets to the point where I'm trying to reach out to people to understand, a Proton email goes out. And this is where it gets strange too, because I'm thinking, oh no, some of my private texts have gotten out. I'm ashamed. I'm not perfect. It's embarrassing. But then there's a Proton email that goes out, meaning Proton is a protected thing where it's anonymous. And it goes out while I'm covering the Brandon Boudreaux trial, Lori Vallow representing herself. And it says that I've talked shit about all these people that actually aren't people I've talked shit about. So now I'm like, okay.
So this is where it was stated that someone alleged that she called Tylee a little bitch. I have not seen proof of this. I have not seen any messages come out that say that. I have not seen anybody email that. So I'm waiting on proof to see that before I believe it. I do know that is a rumor coming out, though.
Now it's a smear campaign. This isn't actually even what I've actually said. Okay, I haven't talked shit about these people. One of them's like my best friend. So I'm like, what's going on? So that's happening. I'm trying to reach out to people right and left to figure out what's going on. And then no one will pick up my phone calls or talk to me. So my producer reaches out to a creator who says they want my head on a platter and that I better brace myself because it's it's going to go viral and it's bad. And she continued to say, brace ourselves over and over again. It was so scary. Again, with my phone being silent, no one talking to me, the threats that I've spoken about people I haven't, that I called the
That right there is odd to me. So you mean to tell me your phone is silent, no one is calling you, no one harassing your phone, no one sending you back-to-back emails, because your phone would be going ringing, ding, and ding, 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 with text messages and emails and shit like that. So no one is calling you. Oh my God, terrifying. Nobody's calling my phone. Are you kidding
Some
me right
people would
fucking
look
now?
at that like a vacation.
No one's calling you, so you're being stalked and harassed? That doesn't even fucking make any sense. Not at all. And who said they want her head on a platter? Who the fuck even says that dumbass shit anymore? Nobody even uses that saying anymore.
Queen Bee, did you catch it in the 9-hour stream where Lauren said that she had reached out to her stalker over hurt feelings and allegedly the person didn't want to talk to her, but Lauren was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and tell her how I feel anyways. Who's the real stalker here?
That's what I'm saying. Shit. Hell no, she didn't want to talk to you. Fuck no. Just like when BJ reached out to me wanting to have a conversation. No, baby, I don't mind talking to you, but we doing it publicly because you fucking lie and play too many games. Nope, she didn't want to do that. Wonder why. I wonder why the fuck you didn't, BJ. Why didn't you want to have a live? Why didn't you want to do it publicly? Seems very fucking odd to me. And like you said, her phone was fucking silent. She was the one reaching out to her stalker by her own words. And she calls her a stalker. Man, I don't know about this. Shit. They told you to leave them alone. You called her. She told you she didn't want to hear from you. You still chose to fucking contact her, reach out to her and tell her how you felt, even though she didn't give a fuck. She told you she didn't give a fuck. You wanted her to give a fuck. You wanted her to know how you felt. She did not care how you felt. She pulled up, we do not care. And you got upset. I want you to care. I want you to care. I want you to know.
I want you to want me. Sorry.
God damn. Java says she was talking shit on people in the genre and there's proof. Where's the fucking proof, Java? Can you email me this proof? Here, let me drop my email in the chat for you. Because, I mean, we're going off of what people are. I need to see this shit from my own eyes. QueenBOG888@gmail.com. QueenBOG888@gmail.com. Bam, send that proof on over. We're going to pull it up and look at it right fucking now. We are dying to see some proof, any kind of proof from anybody, from anything at all, any proof at all. From anybody. Shit.
Police because they're like they want my head on a platter and people that I thought were my friends too, like so and now they're saying that I'm abusing the police. Like there's nothing I can do that's right. I'm like spinning my wheels, right? Like I call the police, now I'm abusing the police.
Yeah, you're abusing the police because you called the police to tell them that your feelings were hurt and somebody got in your email or some dumbass shit you said the other day. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? She called the fucking cops. Something they did. It was something. I don't know. She got an email or some shit. I don't know. It was some fucking weird ass shit. She got an email or something and called the fucking police. Why? I don't understand. Why are you doing this? Why? Because why?
I take it lying down. They just keep punching. I gray rocket, meaning you stay silent, you don't respond, it doesn't stop. And then after that, brace yourself. Multiple accounts happen. I actually only said on my live that there was a TikTok and Instagram. I had no idea she had a YouTube too. But so
girl, bye. Girl, bye. You knew damn the fuck well she had a motherfucking YouTube. Girl, bye. Come on now. I don't understand. I don't understand. I gotta roll a blunt for this. Holy shit.
To multiple accounts, a Twitter, whatever it's called, X recently started, and just every other day, threatening cyberbullying on all these accounts, saying they have something on me. And then it also makes me wonder, what did I do? What did I do? Maybe I am.
Well, maybe you did talk some shit. Okay. Well, it is what it is. You already did it. Cupcake says you called the police in a different state to tell Christina it was illegal to post screenshots. Ma'am, that's abuse. As a journalist, you would know this. Should have been known this. What in the hell? What in the helly?
I'm bad. I have things I'm ashamed of that I said behind the scenes I do. So then you start questioning yourself, and I'm like, I am a bad person. Like, what did I do? What do they have? And that's kind of, my husband's telling me, like,
I am a bad person. What did I do? What the fuck? No, you're not a bad person. You made some bad choices. No, listen, you need to listen. You need to stop with this bullshit. That's what you need to do. You really do, because you're gonna end up fucking. You already made a fool of yourself, anyways, and I'm gonna go back and clip the shit because I'm not letting that go. No, you don't get to sit and say you're stalked and harassed and then say thank you, stalkers. Pay me money so you can hear more details. Ha ha ha. Fuck out of here with that.
Coercive control and intimidation. Like, we have the receipts. A lot of people have been saying for about 5 months they've got the receipts.
Where are they? Where's yours? Where's all these threats and lies and all this horrible shit? Where's your receipts at, Lauren? You talking about they got receipts. Where's yours? You got exhibits of some bullshit. Where the fuck is yours at? And then you got Grayson, who's already on medication and in therapy, dealing with your bullshit on top of her own. What? What is going on, Lauren? Talking about, well, she went on Webslueths. I told her she could go on Webslueths. Wait. You gave her permission? She's a grown-ass woman. If she wants to go on Webslueths, she shouldn't have to have your fucking permission, bro. What are you doing? I told her she was okay to go on Webslueths. Well, why would you have to tell her it's okay? Why would she not just decide to go or not go on her own? Why does she need your fucking approval?
It's weird.
It is. And what's going to happen and what's going to come out when Grayson gets fired? I mean, questions that need answers. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Because in due time it'll happen and we'll just see how she treats her, right? People tend to work in patterns, so.
But just repeat it, and it's been going on for months. And I actually ignored it for months and months and months. It got bigger and bigger. Like I said, I have been canceled on news organizations. So not knowing how or why, and then I'm finding out. I think the scariest part for me was also finding out that this the person on all the accounts saying bad things about me, cyberbullying me, is then calling people that she knows that I have beefs with and riling them up, like from years ago. And she's reaching out to people where I'm realizing that just that alone is a violent act. Like when you have a problem with somebody from the past and it maybe didn't end well, and they're calling them and they're instigating their anger and their
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is not a violent act. Going to speak to somebody who you had an issue with is not a fucking violent act. That is somebody reaching out to your fucking friend. No, that is not a violent act. That is somebody reaching out to another person that you had issues with. That is not a violent act. You, ma'am, are abusing the system with this bullshit. You, ma'am, are making bullshit up. That is not a violent act. Not even
And you're
a
also,
little bit. What the fuck is that?
and she's really also starting to anger people that have actually had violent acts committed against them.
Exactly, bro. What are you talking about? This is fucking crazy right now. Like, I can't even. That is a violent act because she went and talked to somebody who didn't like me from before. And she uses the word beef. Like somebody I was arguing or fighting with before, somebody that didn't like me. She actually used the fucking word beef.
It's so gross. The things she's saying, she is completely out of touch with the exact genre and field she claims to be an advocate and participate in. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel about it.
I don't know, man. This is fucking wild. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm just the only one that'll say it.
And it got very scary. And so I was very fearful to go anywhere. And I was going to go actually to the Adelson trial. And because of this, that's why I didn't go. I reported.
You've been very fearful to go anywhere? When? Because you be traveling all the motherfucker over. So where was you scared and when was you scared? Girl, stop that. You just fucking literally got back when you did your goddamn Patreon. Damn.
From home. And then it kept getting, so then I learned like there's more people coming from my past. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then the TikToks are saying, we're trying to find her LinkedIn. Isn't it strange? She doesn't have a LinkedIn. I can't figure out who's linked with her. In other words, I can't call them. And then they're saying, okay, I've called UNLV now. That's where my husband is an adjunct professor. And they're saying that they're exposing my husband, who has nothing to do with this. And people have been wondering why he hasn't been on YouTube. And we've only been doing Patreon episodes, angry that, we're putting my co-host behind a paywall. Well, yeah, because we feel safer behind a paywall. That's, he had a board complaint recently. He had to defend, which he defended, and it was ridiculous. Like it's just like, I didn't mention that on my live either. Right. There are more Patreon emails. There's more stuff going on. I mean, I know that I covered it for 9 hours, but I didn't cover everything going on. And then you can't explain it either. Like, I'm not this person. So I don't know. I don't see. It's so hard to explain, which is why I did a 9-hour live. I'm like, no one can believe this. And my fear, unless if I was going to say it, I had to say it, So I spent
Can I jump in here and say something?
Hours saying it. Yeah.
Okay. For people saying that, oh, this isn't restraining order stuff, that this is just mean girl behavior. Well, I'm sorry, this is beyond mean girl behavior. They have crossed the line into the criminality. Okay. Constant threats, emails, text, videos, and so forth. The crime there would be aggravated harassment. Yes. Okay. Contacting other people and from the past that may have had a beef with Lauren and so forth. Now we start getting into aggravated harassment and conspiracy. Okay, then making any type of threat over the internet, besides is a federal crime, and we're talking about making terroristic threats. Okay, I mean, if this was a beef between an employer and a contractor, well, we have legal ways to deal with this in civil court. Okay, or criminal court, depending on if there are being or crimes are being alleged about an employer contract with a contractor. Okay, now if this was some other kind of beef, okay, well, you've taken that beef to an unreasonable level. Okay, and you have to step back and take a look at what's going on here. Okay, this is not normal, folks. This is not normal, and it's unreasonable. And a judge already issued a restraining order. Okay, evidence was presented and the judge saw it. Now, let me step back even further. Having seen the video of the Aurora Police Department encounter at the crime con, okay, she's lucky she walked away. If I was given that order of protection from a complainant and I read it and there's the person within 500 feet doing exactly what the order tells her she can't do, and after talking to her, I find out she knew about it and she was served and she has a photograph of it sent to her, okay, the bracelets come out and she's in cuffs and she's leaving CrimeCon with me.
Stop that.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've got to be joking me. Hell no. What the hell?
Ridiculous. Lauren is the one. Okay, now I get it.
Wow.
Legally speaking. Queen Bee, I get it. Legally speaking, okay, whenever someone has a protection order, regardless of whether or not the person that they are, is the person that that is being restrained, is there or not first, the person that filed the restraining order can make that person leave from the venue. That is correct. But to sit there and say that she was in violation, I mean, how was she? Look, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, that person's violating a restraining order." No, you can be asked to leave, and then if you don't leave, you're violating the restraining order. Like to act like she deserved to be in silver cuffs because Lauren wanted to go to the same bar. No, no. Mm-mm. In my opinion, it felt like Lauren asserting herself over someone else to begin with. Anyways, I'm just saying from my perspective.
This shit's fucking wild, man. I cannot with this bullshit.
Violating an order of protection is a crime.
That's right.
She did it several times. But see, people in the chat, Ed, are saying, well, I didn't see or hear any threats. Threats don't have to be direct. And when you tell somebody, which they told Lauren, that creators, or I think they said plural, many people or many creators want your head on a platter, that's a threat. It's an idle threat. And people don't understand that you can't just go around saying, we're going to ruin you, we're going to do this. And the amount of not only psychological torture we saw and heard Lauren talk and get so vulnerable on that live stream, that 9-hour live stream, she talked about harming herself. I mean, this is not something that she had to share with everybody, but she wanted to share it to show you with full transparency the enormity of what these events are doing to not only her, but her entire family. Her husband's blood pressure raising up, her son asking questions. This is not regular, normal, good human behavior. This is beyond it. Ed,
now, Lauren, the incident at the bar restaurant with her videotaping your party, okay? She was well within 500 feet, okay? Yeah. This occurred after the police confrontation at CrimeCon.
That night.
So she knew she was given a break by the police. She knew about the restraining order, the order of protection. And then that night she goes out and violates it again. Now, any reasonable person looking at this should understand this is not reasonable behavior. This is not normal behavior. That something is wrong here. Okay. And she could have been arrested in the bar.
Yeah. I also want to point out that she also posted that day. This is how subtle it is, how vague. No one else would notice, but she knows that I'm watching, right? Because I've filed something. So how vague it is. She posts on the TikTok targeting on me, or all the accounts, her smiling and the lyrics to Worms, which is an Eminem song. Go look up the first verse. So I don't want to misphrase it. Google it and read the first lines of Worms. So after she was served by Aurora police, shared her smiling, doing a verse of this song, then showed up in the bar. And do you see the words? Something about the plaintiff. I think
I'm gonna play it if you don't mind. Is it okay if I play that TikTok?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. If you don't want me to, I won't.
No, go ahead.
Look, this is her entire TikTok. I went and showed Ed before we went live. It's like almost every one of her created TikToks on that account, or indirectly, or she doesn't mention you by name, and that's where people are getting caught up. Ed, I know you might have something to add to this. This girl, Christina, does not mention Lauren by name, but everything that she's doing has to do with her. She soured up that she was let go from her contracting duties with Hidden True Crime, and she didn't want to make a clean break. She wanted to say, hey, I got these conversations. And you were honest enough to admit, hey, sometimes, I did say she was annoying. You know how many times I say my producer, Kristen, annoys me? I say it like maybe 3 times a day, but she annoys me and I love her and she knows it, so we have this open line of communication. So if I were to inadvertently fire her and say, hey, you're done with me, she could show you a bunch of messages of like, hey, Dirty Ron told me to stop it, or had a stern conversation with me. This is what happens when you have a relationship with someone who's working for you.
Well, I want to point out that while that was a certain part of the song, the beginning of that song, the lyrics are shoot the bailiff, karate kick the plaintiff. After I served her.
Yeah.
So, but nobody's going to pick that up, but I am.
Yeah.
The people sitting her at CrimeCon in the bar when she's like, I didn't do anything. I'm being attacked by a public figure. I bought my ticket here first. This is so sad.
Yeah. Let me talk about that from a law enforcement standpoint. It doesn't matter when she bought her ticket. Okay. The order was in place, signed by a judge. Okay. Once that order is signed by a judge and in place, the fact that she bought a ticket a year in advance or whatever the case is meaningless. It has no weight of law. She's committing a crime by being within 500 feet. The fact that she bought a ticket a year in advance doesn't mean shit. Okay? She was served. She knew what she wasn't supposed to do by order of the judge. She violated it. End the story.
I want to point out, too, that I did not share. I did not share her TikTok account with you guys. You went and found it on your own, right, Judy Ron? I did not.
No, you definitely didn't. You definitely didn't share it. I found it because, look, you know, all you have to do is a little detective work, and I wanted to know a little bit about, because I want to look. I want to be able to see a little bit of the other side of it, and I wanted to actually see what you were talking about. So I did go on my own and look, and you know, I would never leave a nasty comment for somebody. I don't do that, and I love that you encouraged during that 9-hour live stream, Lauren, because not many creators would do that. You encourage people not to cancel people, not to go over and leave comments on your behalf. You can't.
Yeah, but we've done that and it still doesn't work. Still doesn't fucking work. What's up, Roro?
Hi. With Ed sitting there saying, shit. With Ed sitting there saying, you know, he's so passionate about she should have been arrested. She broke the whatever. You know, she did this, she did this. Ed, why don't you ask Lauren, if you're so scared for your life, why would you go to a crime convention? If you're so scared for your life, why did you have to go to a bar? If you're so terrified and you're having ideations of all these things, why didn't her husband get her professional help versus a 22-year-old producer that's in therapy and now on anxiety meds?
Not to mention, can we also point out the fact that Duty Ron was like, this is a person that was, you know, Lauren fired her and she just couldn't separate herself. No. Duty Ron, did you even listen to what Laura said that the woman told? I mean, did you even listen to what Lauren said? That the woman told Lauren she didn't want to talk to her, but Lauren had to get her point across to her anyways? Did that completely go over your bald head?
Well, and it seems like Lauren wants the world to herself, and wherever Lauren goes, she wants the power to now say, I can arrest you. This isn't just, this is apparently a woman that has an interest in true crime herself. You know, she hung out in the same group, whatever. And, I mean, hell, y'all shared an Airbnb. Were they fucked up for going in your phone? But Ed, no, I'm sorry, my dude. She is trying to control.
I mean, do you guys remember when Diamond Cutter come up here and told us that Molly and them had all went on a trip and stayed in the hotel together, and they took pictures of her fucking crotch, her coochie?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know about that, but I have a new
she
reason
sleeps
to
naked.
not
She
eat
sleeps
today.
naked. She sleeps naked, and Molly went and took pictures of her, and then they were there for a wedding, and Molly was officiating the wedding. Yeah, how fucked up is that? Anyway, and then she had taken pictures for the wedding, and one of the people wanted the pictures, so she gave her the Dropbox, which had access to all of her pictures, and they spread all of her pictures in her phone. I don't remember Diamond Cutter getting an RO. She just came up and explained it. But Lauren wants this woman's, not just her free speech, but her freedom. Don't tell me you're true crime. Don't tell me you stand for victims. Ed, you really should have looked into this before your buddy Ron called you up, and you don't know dick about it, but you take such a hard stand into this saying, hey, I need to look at this, you know, let me look at both sides, let me research, you know. Yeah, that seems really fucked up. And I'm not saying Christina's a good person. I'm not. I think it's fucked up what she did. I'm not tooting my horn for her. But it's not illegal. I'm sorry, it's just not. I think this is a lot of entitlement. Anyway, I just got to hop down, but Ed I don't know, made me click that link again. I got to get busy. So I'll be listening. Ed, you might want to do your investigative whatever on this before you scream out that you would have arrested her on the spot. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
It actually makes me question his professionalism.
Well, it makes you look
and
like
his
a fucking
respect.
fool.
Yeah, because the fact that she left when she was notified that Lauren was coming is exactly the reason she shouldn't have been arrested. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is I've unsubbed from a lot of channels that I had a lot of respect for over this. So, way to go. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Thank you, Queen, for letting me up again. I ain't popping back up again. If you see me in back chat, say, no, bitch. No. You're done. You're done for the day. Go get your shit done. Do your shit, girl. That laundry ain't gonna do itself. But I mean, I'm sorry. I just, no. And it don't matter if you're friends or not. A true friend would be like, hey, Lauren, girl, look, this is the way I'm seeing it. But, that was a big chat. When I clicked out of this is when Ron said, yeah, I had a I had a woman that was stabbed by her boyfriend, and I pulled the RO out of her pocket. You are not the same thing, man. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's just not. And I was confused when I listened to Lauren's 9-hour live. I was confused until I went back and listened to Lori Hillis's, and then went back and listened to Lauren's live on not 2 times speed. I thought she was served the papers at her house and went. She was served that her husband signed for them. They and she and they were sent to her when she was already in Colorado the day before CrimeCon. Every victim that has truly needed an RO was pushed back because of Lauren and her shit talking.
Yep.
Way to go. Ed, you might want to research before you take such a hard stance. You're making yourself look like a fool, in my opinion. Yeah, I think all the women involved got issues. I sure do, Bodie, I sure do. I think that I'm not saying Christina's a great person. I'm not saying that Lori Hillis is great. I'm not saying anything. It's just like I told uh, to Jennifer that jumped up here. I told her, I said, hey, if Lori's going to put out, she sent out, she sent out, I lost 10,000 sales. I'm going to need a receipt of that.
I have no problem with people having grievances with other people over smack talk.
Well, hell,
But what I
everybody's
have,
gonna.
right, what I have an absolute problem with is trying to use the genre of actual victims to try and push their bullcrap drama out there. That's what I have the problem with. It shows a
Well,
complete lack of empathy and respect for victims and their families, what they're doing, in my opinion.
I hope everybody hypes this live of Queens because I think everybody needs to see that Patreon live. I think that needs to be put on blast. Thanks, Stalker. Don't sit there and be outraged over thanks for the alcohol when you got thanks, Stalker. Give me more money. And I have so much more, but we're not going to share it today. But tune in next week, guys. I'll have another bed video. Get out of here. Yeah. So that's just how I feel. But yeah, Ed, check it out before you make a fool of yourself. And you know what? I'm sorry. I said it all the time, not just about this, but there's good and bad attorneys. There's good and bad doctors. There's good and bad nurses. There's good and bad cops. There's good and bad everything. It is what it is. And a real friend would have said, hey, Lauren, this is not a good look. You know what I mean? Just go on with your true crime, da-da-da-da-da. You're abusing the system. But no, you're like, yeah, and this woman that was stabbed and killed, I pulled the R out of her pocket. Are you kidding me? Anyway. Thank you, Mindy. Australia, if you put an RO on someone, then you will receive benefit up to $5,000 from the government, accommodation at a very low price plus heaps more. Making someone cry is classed as abuse is and it is PO worthy. It's just mind blowing. I never would have thought this, but when people show you who they are, and when I say she lit up that whole gas station with the amount of gaslighting she was doing in that Patreon, the witch hunt, stop it. Ain't no gas left in her state. Shit. And he said, and Ed, and Duty Ron, no disrespect to you, but you didn't have a problem with Betty's RO, civil RO, being streamed. You wanted it streamed. We all wanted it streamed. But now it's a bad thing because it's your friend. Mm-mm.
The hypocrisy is absolutely astounding.
It's wild, man. But yeah, I want to see these text messages and emails and all the things because I swear to God, I think there's stuff in there that's really, really bad. Like really bad. And you're talking about other professionals, right? That were so appalled by whatever's in those, whatever was sent to them, that they had no more contact with her as she's being stalked, as Queen said, while nobody's reaching out to you, you're not getting any text or anything. But it wasn't just for being called a dumbass, or her hair looks like shit, or she's a bitch, or heaven forbid the cunt come out. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot more in there. Get ahead of it, girl. And this is why I don't think that she went for the lawsuit. I didn't understand, why would you go for an RO? Why wouldn't you go for a lawsuit for defamation and tortious interference? But if you do that, then all your evidence comes out. No, she snakily did it as a ex parte RO, so where that way she could control her words and she could control her freedom. You weaponize the judicial system, and I don't believe anybody should do that. While you stand here and say I stand for victims. I'm good. And if your kid is losing weight and has circles under his eyes, then you need to take him to a doctor and get the fuck off the internet. I think you can afford a couple weeks off. Maybe dip into that Botox fund. Yeah, that's just the way I feel about it. But no, you was going to put him on the stand. Fuck that. I wouldn't let my daughter that's in her 30s go up on a stand for me. Nope. Much less an 8-year-old little boy. But that's just me. It's just my opinion, and you know what? The Constitution says we can have it. But I am just disappointed. And I do question my own judgment. Was she always like this and I never saw it? And I'll tell you another thing that's going to happen is people are going to go back in her content, just like I was shown last night on Trisha's panel. They're going to go back, and I had never seen him sitting there and judging victim impact statements from a, quote, clinical standpoint. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. See, when you come out and you say, like, I could say some real messed up stuff about medical or something, but I'm held at a higher standard because I'm a nurse, not held at the standard of being a doctor. But when you come out here and say that you're a psychiatrist, especially a forensic psychiatrist, then you're held up at a bigger, higher thing. So people are going to go back years and look at and just see if they find any of your fuck shit that people didn't see.
Yeah, that surprised me. Like that right there. Like I wasn't someone who watched Lauren this channel to begin with, you know what I'm saying? But seeing what they did to Olivia's impact statement as a real victim, someone who lost her sister and had every right to say anything she wanted to say, I wouldn't watch their content at all now after seeing them do that. As someone that actually does do work to try and help victims and their families, it's really gross. It's fucking gross.
Azima, I know nurses were all bitches, hate us, you know, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm just really shocked. And like I hadn't seen the Patreon thing until Queen just played it, and that it's like wow. But this is what's going to happen. This is the Barbara Streisand effect. Where's BTM at? We need him. This is what's going to happen. People are going to go back years into your content, and they're going to dig now. That's what's going to happen. It just is. In fact, I heard something today that I had not heard about because I was off YouTube for several weeks and didn't know, just I was completely off, personal reasons. But apparently they were like defending Stephen Stern's parents or something, and there was a big fallout between big creators, and it was all around this time. So I think there's a lot more to it, that apparently you just don't like criticism or correction, right? Is it you don't like being corrected? Seems like a theme. I don't know. Call me silly.
Personally, I think
Oh, you're fine, Azima.
Personally, I think Olivia's victim impact statement was one of the bravest, one of the best written, and one of the most heartfelt victim impact statements I have ever heard.
Well, I don't care if a victim stands there and says, I hate you, and cries for 10 minutes and doesn't utter another word. It's their feelings. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
And
know,
they're entitled to it.
right. How dare you tell somebody, I ain't going to go back. But anyway, I got to go do laundry. And Azima, girl, it's fine. Look, I hate doctors, so there's that. Oh, I think they suck. It's all good. And you can hate me, it's fine. I'm good. I promise. If everybody liked me, I'd wake up and be scared. Her royal sass. These people make me sick. They use their children as an excuse. Get off the internet if it's affecting your children. Yeah. Yep, Lord is right. Well, I'm going to go do my laundry. Y'all have a good day. And good talking to you, big girl. Thank you, Queen.
Bye, Roro.
Bye.
Exactly, tattooed birdie. She didn't ask them for their opinion. It was her time to give it. She didn't ask for their stupid analysis. No, she didn't.
Yeah, so this is pretty fucking ridiculous. Do y'all want to keep going through it, or do you want to finish this? Do you want to go to Trisha's? What do y'all want to do?
It's whatever you want to do.
Alcoholic. We're talking about Lauren Matthias from Hidden True Crime, who was criticizing victims' impact statements. Lauren's husband, John.
Stop people from doing it, but you made the statement, which was very, very unique. Not many people would do that. So it's one of the many reasons why I'm friends with you, is because I love that you put the victims and their families first. We do that here. And everybody who knows us, I've been doing this since 2019. And I started out just, in my car and, walking around with a phone, and developed into a studio setting. But Ed and I are about educating, keeping people safe, giving the forensic side to these cases, and also helping people understand what's right and what's wrong. And in this instance here, what you've laid out, it shows everybody what's wrong with society, where people feel that it's okay to become a band of gang type mentality, where you take your beef that's one-on-one, or maybe with you and another person, or whatever the case may be. It's a small grouping, and now make it into a whole big bunch of people who are now, slandering and trying to, get your husband in trouble with his employment or what he does. And, none of it has worked, but it just goes to show you that, the steps that people will take is just so ridiculous. This is childish high school stuff,
Can I ask, as law enforcement?
Yeah, it is. And Lauren, you're a big part of it. And you going panel to panel to panel and sending Grayson to go to another panel is bullshit, in my opinion.
Like, knowing that you went and you looked and you found it on your own. I guess I could use a little bit of validation. What did you guys think when you saw her accounts?
Ed, I'll let you go first.
It's not normal behavior. Okay, there's something wrong. Okay, and I believe your name is hashtag attached to these.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Anyone can find it. All they have to do is type in Lauren Matthias on TikTok, and I actually think her videos are the first ones that pop up because she does hashtag my name.
So why is it linked if it's not associated to you?
That's exactly what I did to find it, Lauren, because I didn't know her name. You didn't share her name. You actually blurred her face out. You went extra steps to not dox her fully.
Correct.
Maybe in a couple of the papers there was little slips, and you were like, "Oh, oops!" But you took that extra step to protect her identity, which most people wouldn't. They would be like, "F you! I'm just gonna. Here it is. Everybody can go see it." So I searched your name in the search bar of TikTok, and all of this stuff came up, and all of the other, as I call them, jagaloons, these are adults who act like children, are on there saying their piece about you. And the funny thing, Lauren, is there's a lot of people who will talk, and Ed and I get it too. You're not alone. We get this stuff where people know nothing about us. I had just yesterday, I'm fighting cancer. I'm fighting all of these little side illnesses from lymphoma. And I'm going back and forth to Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And I haven't done live streams like in a month, steady. And I get back into it just last week, and someone leaves a comment. What do you do with all your super chats and your money? Do you donate it to anybody? Do you give it to anybody? Like a nasty comment, somebody who never left a comment. And I just simply responded as like, you obviously don't know me, because I donate so much of the money that I make here to people who need it and to good causes like EquiSearch Midwest, who search for the missing. I donated over $20,000 to them. So not to get off of this topic of you, is just that I'm trying to make a point that people come and attack us and they don't know anything about us. So a lot of these girls who are saying shit about you and talking crap about you have no idea.
They don't know me. They don't know me.
At any time getting to know you, they're just like mob mentality. Oh, Christina, or this one said this and that one said this.
But they do know you. They was your friends. They were your employees. They worked with you and for you, side by side with you every day.
Not only that, Queen Bee, since when is it an attack to ask someone what they do with their funds to help charity? Huh?
Right. And you know what? That's another thing. That's good for him. I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad he has that. I'm glad he can say that. That's awesome. That's amazing. You know what I mean? A lot of people cannot say that. So that's awesome. But not everybody knows that either. You know what I mean?
Right. But asking that question is not an attack.
Right.
In my opinion.
I feel the same way. I don't think it's an attack either.
Oh, she's bad. Let's just jump in. Ed.
Yeah, this is very toxic. And it breaks my heart. I hate to see it. Again, I can't stand bullying. I can't stand stalking. I can't stand any of this. There's no place in a civil society for any of this. Okay. And I don't understand how it got to this level and how it continued. After she caught a break with the first, interaction with law enforcement, and The stuff at the restaurant, and then there's people I see in the chat too. I mean, the chat is getting toxic as well. You know, there's people saying, "Well, who was in the restaurant first?" It doesn't matter. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. Then there's other people. Well, you know, she made a false report. If Lauren made a false report, that's easily verified and would be a crime, and she would be arrested. Is she?
No,
I don't think so. The judge found what she presented as credible.
Yeah.
I called the police after learning that people wanted my head on a platter and to brace myself. And then I called the police for an escort in Boise to my car, which then the police officer suggested he write up an incident report for history purposes. So it was his idea. And yeah.
You know, documenting these instances where things happen. And that was a big restaurant. It didn't look like a small little place. She could have been anywhere in that spot so far away from you, or she could have maybe stumbled across you and said, "Oh shit, I better go the other way." But that's not what she did. And unbeknownst to her, you had a male friend who was there, who was taking those photos of her and provided them to
in
you.
Aurora, Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah. So thankfully you had people, the good people on your side, because good people don't do this. I don't care. Look, and here's something that I'll put out there in the chat, and Ed and I say this all the time. If you support this type of behavior, I'm not for you and you're not for me. The internet is a big place. There's millions of creators that you can go and engage in their toxic communities. Have at it. Go there. I know this. I can speak for you as well, Lauren. If you want toxic behavior and you want this negative stuff, you're not going to find it at HTC. You're not going to find it here on Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace. And at the end of the day, the people who you thought were your friends, Lauren, like a lot of these news outlets, why aren't they knocking on your door and giving you their platform to talk about this? Why? Because you find out through trial and error, when times get tough, who really are your friends and who is really going to stick by your side. But again, I wanted to circle back because we're at the 45-minute mark. I didn't want to make this more than an hour. There was a case that Ed and I covered in 2022. It was a podcaster and his wife who had a similar situation where they got orders of protection. They were being stalked. Now, I don't want to cause more, trauma to you, but we covered this, Lauren, and I think it's important. I'm only going to play just a little bit of it. It's a different set of circumstances because it's a female with a male stalker, but she went through the steps of making reports, but they didn't make the step. The fatal error was not shoring up their security. They didn't have cameras at their home. They didn't take the steps that you need to take when you get in positions like this. So I want to play this for our listening audience. This is the extreme. This is a real, this is the really bad result. But I think it's important that people hear this because this is what can unfortunately happen when people engage in this behavior, because actions have, your actions have consequences, and that things bad can happen. This can go bad. So here's a quick example of what can happen and what could go bad as it pertains to stalking. So take a listen, folks.
More light on the slaying of a 33-year-old podcast host and her husband, murdered in their Seattle area home, police say, by her alleged stalker. Redmond police say Zora Sadeghi and her husband, Mohammed Milad Nasseri, were shot and killed Friday by this man, Raman Hoda Karamazai, before taking his own life.
The Redmond Police Department is familiar with both the victim and suspect in this case because of an active stalking investigation that was occurring.
Only a week before the murder, the couple desperately filing for an order of protection against the man they claimed was harassing Sadeghi to the point that she was, quote, suffering from a deep-seated fear for her safety. Police say the man initially reached out to Sadeghi on a chat platform as a listener and fan of her audio streaming, but his actions soon intensified. She said he delivered flowers to her home, sent jewelry and gifts, parked in her neighborhood to catch a glimpse of her, and repeatedly called her husband, friends, and neighbors. Sadeghi's petition documenting the dozens of phone calls, voicemails, and text messages she received, despite blocking his number and social media accounts.
In one of the reports, she reported over 100 contacts in a single day.
Sadeghi writing, his voice messages to me have been the cause of anxiety and insomnia for me. They include him crying and begging for me to pick up, him threatening to burn himself and the tree in front of my house. She asked that the order remain in place for 99 years because he has said many times that nothing short of his own death would make him leave me alone. Police say they were in the midst of trying to serve the order of protection, but the suspect, who lived in Texas and was a long-haul trucker, was difficult to track down.
All right, folks. And Lauren, I'm sorry. I wanted to, to give you that disclaimer before I played that, but this is the extreme. And I played that because as for law enforcement professionals, we see this. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that, God forbid you don't wish this on your worst enemy, but this is what solidifies and validates your fear because you have no experience with this. It's not known to me in your adult life. You have never had this situation happen to you to this extent. And
Never.
people are trying to downplay your reaction to this. And I say this to you, ladies and gentlemen, how dare you even try to put yourselves in this woman's shoes? I wouldn't dare do it, because none of you know the fear that her and Grayson and her husband have experienced. And how dare you go and say, well, she's making more out of this than that. You have no idea. She has a small son. She has a young son at home. And she's a protective mother. So to have people say the nasty things that they're saying and do the nasty things that they're doing online, those are the people who I want to be over here, and they could stay over there. I don't want to be anywhere near somebody like that. And Ed, I know you feel the same way.
100%. If you come to this channel, you're here to be educated. You're here to get our personal experience and our training, our certification, and how we see things with these true crime cases that we highlight here. Okay. And we support the victims. Okay. And anything else other than that, if then you shouldn't be here. Okay. You don't have to agree with us, but we be respectful to each other. You have to, you listen to what we have to say, whether you agree with us or disagree with it, that's fine. Just be respectful. You can agree to disagree. There's no reason that we have to go down into the gutter and start slamming each other and calling each other names and trying to personally attack each other and get all defensive and so forth and toxic. There's no reason. There's no reason for any of that.
Yeah, if you don't like somebody, there's so many other people that you can go and watch. If you don't like Lauren, don't watch her.
And I'm okay if you don't like me. And I'm okay if you think I'm annoying. I'm okay if people think I'm a bitch. It's okay. Just go leave me alone.
Yeah. And really that's what this boils down to. And look, I have a whole bunch of other questions. I think, we covered a lot here, but if you don't mind, Lauren, I'd like to go to our channel members. Some of the folks who are loyal Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace subscribers and subscribers of the channel. If you have any questions, Lauren, I think you had agreed that we would ask some audience questions. And if there's anything that we didn't get to here, because I know we were kind of all over the place, and I want to say that Megan Connor, I know she's a friend of yours. It's Lori Shallow Vallow Daybell's cousin, a great friend. She did a live stream before this, an hour, and oh my God, I was listening to it while I was preparing here in the studio. And Megan, I don't know if she's here in the chat, but she really, if you want to listen to a breakdown, Megan took that 9 hours that you did and broke it down into an hour-long session. She did a fantastic job. And
I didn't know she did that. I didn't know she did that. Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to link it in the description. I'm also a channel member of hers and yours, Lauren. So let's go hashtag Lauren, or just let's make it easy. Yeah. Hashtag HTC with your question. Let's keep it on topic. Let's be respectful, and I'll ask the questions.
Great. And
I think this is where there was a lot of people that were getting blocked and deleted in this chat. So you couldn't ask. Snob said, just unsub from Duty Ron. This is not the first time I've seen him do this. Yeah, there was a lot of people that unsubbed from her and from Duty Ron. If you go look at her numbers, you can tell there's a lot of people who are not buying this bullshit. So there's a lot of people who are just not buying the bullshit.
I have a question for you again too. Well, you'll ask me, and I have questions also. Like I said, I really do want to ask you questions. You said you saw, you said you saw her on my channel previously. She was at another trial where I was sort of getting to know her, and you pointed some things out, Ron. I was wondering if you'd be willing to just, like, from your assessment in law enforcement, or what, I don't know, or what you saw more on the accounts, or what your thoughts are. I don't know though what you're allowed to say or not.
Yeah, no, I can say whatever. I can say anything. So I because I listened to your 9 hours in 5 different sessions, I picked up that you shared some important dates. And I think one of those dates was like July 10th or something like that. And it was where you were at the Alec Baldwin trial. And and Christina came up to you, I believe, while you were there, and she put her arm around you and she said, like, I'm here for you. I went to CrimeCon because you couldn't go, to represent you. And then you stopped her and you were like, yeah, I had a free ticket and I gave it to you. Just everything about that initial, for me, engagement, when I looked at her, I knew nothing about this whole history, because at that point it was, I think it's 2 or 3 hour mark of your video. Yeah. It was in between that first setting that I was listening to, the piece that I was listening to. And when I watched her, just something about her was just like very I as a law enforcement professional, I was just like, ugh, it just icked me out. Like, I don't know what it was. And I could play it because I saved it here. But it was just something about the way she was putting her arm around you. And I don't know if that was the first time you met her or if it was your initial engagement with her. It just kind of was creepy, you know, like it just didn't seem natural. It just seemed really like weird. So fake.
So, and one of them is, why do you think they were doing this? This is interesting. This is from a police officer in Aurora. So the second night when the Aurora police said to us, go look in the bar to make sure she's not there. Tell us if she is. We were again given that order by police after the Clue Awards. And then we saw her, and so we said, yeah, she's there. And they said, okay, well, we're going to go ask her to leave so you can go in. And we ended up actually having to wait for 45 minutes before we could go into the bar. I'd be really interested what that body cam footage looks like. I don't know. But
well, that seemed like a little dog whistle in my opinion. I wonder what the body cam footage like that looks like. Be interested to know. Well, the body cam footage of you being a Karen definitely showed some stuff. So, I mean, there's that. And yeah, how despicable. You had her made to leave again. Hold on.
I just can't believe.
Oh, hold on. Bree says, I unsubbed to Lauren's channel the night of her 9-hour live. Will be leaving Duty Ron as well. Hold on, Gertie. I have a PO when my abuser was released from prison. It lasted 5 years due to his license conditions. I still worry if I ever see him again. What were you saying, Regina? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there, baby.
Oh no, you're fine, Queen Bee. I didn't mean to. I thought I caught a empty space. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're
so I'm
right,
sorry
baby.
for that. I think it's ironic that Duty Ron is sitting here talking about someone hugging someone and acting fake whenever I'm literally watching someone who is doing, one of the worst Meryl Streep Death Becomes Her impersonations for an Oscar I've ever seen in my life, Talk about being fake. He just come up here and dog whistled the crap out of everyone like this is what can happen, from online stalking. Yeah, that's
and
not
Pink
what's
Glitter.
going on.
And look, Regina, I agree with you that you and Pink Glitter. Look, this, like you said, this is disrespectful to the people who have really been stalked.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is.
Mama 3 says you guys need to watch Turtle Boy reviewing her. All right, we'll put that on next. How embarrassing. Yeah, it's pretty fucking disrespectful. It's pretty bad.
police officer came back out and said, okay, it's safe. You guys can go in. Because it had taken so long, I did say to the police officer, I said, just from your standpoint, like, I don't know what happened down there, but like, what's their argument? Like, can you tell me why they're doing this or why they're saying they're doing this? Like, because and his response was, it sounds like they were riding your coattails and you cut the coattails. That was his response to me after spending 45 minutes downstairs. So I just thought that was interesting. I haven't seen that body cam footage. I don't know what it is, but it's something I'll share. I didn't share that on my 9-hour live.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I don't think I saw that what you described there, but the body cam footage. She tried to control the police officers.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 of them there, and she kept cutting them off and was trying to tell them like what like they were trying to give her instructions, and she just kept cutting them off. Yes, I know. Yes, I have a picture of it on my phone. Like admitting that she knew, like Ed said, he pointed it out. She knew that this order was in place, but yet still took it upon herself to go there. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you're like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to, oh, there's a puppy.
Giving me some therapy right now. So yeah, she's been here the whole time, but she just didn't appear.
She basically was saying to those officers, it's like,
well, and she said hold on here. She said she knows she's not supposed to be here.
Ticket in June or whenever, she said, like way in the past. And my friend's here and she was like fake crying, like trying to give that
Right, body moving. The whole thing bothers the F out of me too. Yep. So she gave you the ick, DR. Law, can we get POs now for people who give us ick? Mm. Uh-oh, you guys, I think Queen Bee's having a technical difficulty. She will be right back. She will be right back. I saw it more as the girl being upfront and honest with officers. Yeah, Ava Hawkshaw, I would agree with that. It did seem like she was being, upfront. Roro said, funny, I never heard mention of a dog. Great manipulation. Down to support the puppy. Get the F out of here. And the way she says things like, I was there to cover the trial. They were just there as members of the public. Like, what? Right? If body side eyes, then something is wrong, to Autumn says, yeah. Why can't she go? I understand why. Is it okay for Lauren to go, but not her? Am I misunderstanding something? Yeah, Captain Napton, she did have that, the temporary RO against her apparently. And that is just something, that comes with ROs. You literally, it's actually, in some cases I can see it being super messed up like this one, but restraining orders, it doesn't matter. In a
Sorry, my
restraining
laptop
order,
reset itself. It
you're
just
fine.
showed it just reset itself.
I knew you had something going on. I was just trying to help out and keep the, chat engaged while you were gone. But I was just saying, if it's okay, if I can finish it, is that okay real quick if I finish that? About the restraining orders?
Oh yeah, go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. I just was apologizing for being rude. It just popped me off here. I don't know what the hell happened here.
Oh no, I didn't know if you wanted to jump back in immediately or if it was okay if I finished that. When it comes to restraining orders, the person that filed it has power, literal power, even if the person they filed it against is at an event or in a public venue, outside of their actual home and their domicile, then the person with the restraining order can absolutely make that person leave. Like, say, if I had a restraining order against a lemon, okay? And that lemon was at the Cracker Barrel. And I wanted to go to the Cracker Barrel, but that lemon was there. Well, all I would have to do was, call the police and have them come over and say, look, I have this restraining order and I want to eat here. And then the lemon would be forced to leave. That's just how it works. I'm done, Quimby. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. And that's good information to give too, Not okay. Hold on. 9mm and lipstick says Lauren gave her the 2024 ticket, not 2025.
Who's angry at me? Who's not? It gets I'm very scared. I am still very scared.
Yeah, and why does your husband have to be brought into this? That's the crazy part of it. Like, in my looking at this and what you've discussed in that 9 hours of live streaming, I'm sure that as a team, the decision to cut ties with any contractor at any given time, you guys talk about it together. But the angle of going after your husband, the vile, we didn't even touch on it, your brother who died from a traumatic brain injury, right? This community here, when you were going through that, we were there with you and sending you love and support. You know, to bring up the things that they brought up about your brother, we didn't even touch on that. That was vile. I don't want to get into it here, but you know, for me, that made it so outrageous and so egregious. I just couldn't even believe that they had the audacity to go there. And that's what makes people subhuman. Like in my eyes, the people who support this, and I don't give a shit if I lose 1,000 subscribers over this. If you're engaging in that kind of behavior, you're a subhuman. That's Lauren's brother, who she loved dearly, who died from an ATV accident and a traumatic brain injury over a period of time. How dare you make allegations or accusations of anything that had to do with her brother? That is not your family. Stay the fuck away from that. You know, so when people do stuff like that, it's just outrageous. Guilty of crime. Jay, thank you for being here. She says, hashtag Lauren, what's next for you? Will you refile? A valid question and a good one.
To be determined. I know that both of you have shared with me what you think I should do. Yeah, I might. But I might take a different approach this time. Maybe federal. I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Another person asked a question, and I'm not sure if you want to go there, but they made a reference, and the chat's moved quickly, so I lost it. They asked about if you know or if you have an idea of how Law and Crime Trial Channel got a hold of your story, and was Anjanette Levy involved in it? And they mentioned that in the
Yeah, I have no clue. I know that people have brought up that one creator named Lori Ellis shared that she was with my stalker, and Anjanette Levy was there. I don't even know if Anjanette Levy was talking to them, though. So I don't want to pull her into this. I don't know. Maybe she was standing up for me. I don't know. All I know is that allegedly the three of them were together at CrimeCon when my stalker was asked to leave the second night after the Clue Awards. Not the night that the photo was taken, but the next night.
Got it. I think I saw Megan Connor in the chat. Megan, do you have anything? Because I actually invited her to come on, but she was doing the live stream before this. So maybe you know how that goes. You get kind of talked out when you do a live stream before. So I had invited her to come up and maybe come on and give a little bit of her, because she said she was there with some of the stuff that you went through with you during some things she mentioned to me, because her and I talk as well. So Megan said, you know, I was there to witness some of this stuff. So that's why I thought, as you know, my detective mind was going, I was like, well, this is good, because this is somebody who's a third party that, you know, yes, she's one of your friends, but you met her through this business. She's not somebody who's been your childhood friend.
Right.
And I thought that she would be good to give our listening audience a little bit of insight to what she saw you have to go through. But being that she can't come on, what was she there for? What did Megan see?
You know, I don't want to speak for her. Actually, I didn't know she was going live, and I don't know what she said on her live. I think she met my ex-contractor, ex-producer. And so I assume she has thoughts from that. And then Megan was a support while I was starting to sort of realize that I was being sort of shunned, like something was going on. The Whisper campaign, she was around during that and really angry. And so she was noticing it. And feeling the effects of it a little bit too is odd. There was sort of like this partisan, I don't know, it was weird. And so I think she saw that happening, and she saw the fear as it began, because it was when everything sort of started, it was at one of the Lori Vallow Daybell trials. And so she was present, and I think she felt and saw my fear. And I had mentioned getting a threatening voicemail, and it started to snowball really fast when it started. It was starting to get really scary, just like as things were, you know, and I didn't know what was going on. And I think that Megan probably saw a lot of that happening. And, you know, someone else that did was Susan Hendricks. Like, she was there from the beginning too, and like saw sort of like the shift of everything and what was happening, and how it's honestly never been the same since. It just, you know, it just keeps getting worse. It's sort of like, just ignore it. We're good. You get over it. But it has gone on for months and months and months.
The problem, the danger, and Ed, you I know you can jump in on this. The danger in ignoring something like this is it doesn't go away. It just snowballs. And when you ignore somebody like this, they go next levels. It just continues on until they can get a response from you. So going the law enforcement route was the proper route to go, and getting representation. So quick pat on the back from us, from, you know, retired law enforcement. Anybody that's out there, if somebody is making you feel uncomfortable, no matter what it is, it doesn't matter what level it is. If you're just causing your day-to-day to be impacted, and you are afraid to go outside and so forth, you have to document that, because without paper, without it being documented and a report being done, then it's your word against theirs, and you have to screenshot and save everything. You and Grayson are doing it, and shout out to Grayson for being a good support system for you, and she's going through it as well. I don't want to leave her out of it. And Dr. John, they're, all three of you guys and the extended family are all victims here as it pertains to this. And again, good people don't do this. This is not behavior of good human beings. So I want to go ahead.
It's not normal. And when you said what you just said about escalation, about being ignored, and right away my mind goes back to the movie Fatal Attraction. Okay, and Glenn Close character. Okay,
yeah, a lot of people
how
brought
desperate and how much she escalated the situation when she felt she was ignored. In fact, she even told Michael Douglas's character, "Dan, I will not be ignored." And then the next thing you know, there's a rabbit boiling on the stovetop in his house. Okay.
Yeah, people have brought that particular scene up with the rabbit. Exactly. And that was an interesting moment for me when I had been ignoring this group. It was a group effort. Only, one of them is on TikTok, although when there are photos of the others there and the people commenting are the other people I mentioned. And they've all written declarations for the court, which is why I used some first names the other night. But
Queen Bee.
One thing that was a moment for me, I had been ignoring and ignoring and ignoring. And when they came up to my dinner table in Boise, this group of women, the most interesting thing I think I recorded was they said, "Quit acting like nothing's wrong." Like they were angry that I wasn't responding. And then their declarations for the court, which I actually couldn't get to because it would have been an 11-hour live. So I still have that. But they state that I am trying to provoke a confrontation by being in their space, even though I'm covering these trials and they're actually just, they attend them. One of them, my ex-contractor goes for work, but quit acting like nothing's wrong. That was their beef. And I had sent one of their friends, an ex-contractor.
There she goes again. Their beef. She keeps using those words.
I'm starting to be concerned about the implications of all of these analogies they're making about people who, even that movie, right? That the person was having an affair with her husband. What are they implying? Because they keep going back to this, they're using DV and relationship violence and stuff. They keep going back to this attraction and relationship crap. I'm starting to have concern about what's being implied here by them. And are they just too ignorant to realize what they themselves are pushing out there? This is wild.
All right, let's see here. We got Lucky shot with the $2 super stickers. To compare to an animal killer is sick. It is very sick. DJ, in my opinion, Lauren did not feel as threatened as she felt empowered. Seems she was happy to show the other gal who had the power. Yuck factor. Yeah, times 10. Her royal sass with the $5 super sticker says these people make me sick. They always use their children as an excuse. Get off the internet if it is affecting your children. Well, and her children are adults too. Let's not forget. Anyhow, we've been on here almost 4 hours, and so I'm gonna get back on here later when B Tim's off because he wants to go over some stuff. We got Turtle Boy to go over, and we still have Webslueths to go over for Grayson. So I'm gonna get off here for a little bit, and then me and B Tim will be back on later to finish going over the rest of it and going over BJ stuff.
I look forward to it. I will be tuning
Absolutely,
in later.
Biddy. I was gonna say, I hope you all come and hang out, and if not, catch it on the replay. No big thing.
Oh, if I don't make it, I'm always catching it on the replay.
Yep, that's what's up. I appreciate you being up here. Thank you for hanging out with me for the day.
Oh, I love hanging out with you, Queen Bee. You're one of the real people on here. And I'm not just saying that. That's not just like I'm saying that to butter you up. I mean, no, girl, thank you for being one of the real ones. For real, for real.
Well,
all right.
I appreciate you being here, Biddy.
All right. I'll talk to you later, beautiful. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
You too. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for being here. It's been a good 4 hours, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. We'll be back on here later tonight, or later today. I don't know what time is it now here. Let's see, 2:45. Yeah, we'll pop back on here later when B Tim's off and stuff, and can go over this because I want to go over that Turtle Boy stuff with him too. So I will catch you on the flip side when he's off or after Toasty. Catch y'all later. QB out.